Now is the time.
Holy moly! Man, woman, and child did that. Put them in the aisle.
Diving touchdown, Nebraska.
Does he have enough? Is it long enough?
It's going to be tipped and caught. It's caught. How many tackles can one man break? He's to the 20. He's to the 10. He's all the way. Totally unbelievable.
It's game day in Lincoln, America, and this is the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show.
Check this out.
The A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show is powered by General Fire and Safety, Raisin Canes, Perch Merch, Sunbelt Rentals, Mullen Motors, Select Plumbing, and the Kindler Hotel.
Come on.
Get up and get loud, Husker fans. The A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show starts now.
Happy Saturday to you, Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen kicking things off here on the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show live from 1040 O Street, Nebraska. Northern Iowa, just about 2.5 hours away from today at Memorial Stadium. Huskers looking for their first 3-0 start since the year 2016, which, by the way, is the first year their early break was even on the airwaves. Think about that for a second. Sip.
Wait,
right.
Really?
We had a strong start to our tenure together,
Yep.
and then it went really south really quickly.
Hopefully we'll be saying the first 4-0 start since
That'd be fun.
2016, the first 5-0 start
Yeah.
since on and on.
We'd take all that, wouldn't we?
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
How are you?
I'm doing fine. It's a great day. We had some good listeners come in.
Yeah, you were quite the center of the attention over there.
Yeah,
What was
well,
happening?
it was a friend of mine who brought
Okay.
these are serious breakers.
Breakers.
Yes, these are serious breakers that
Should I have
came.
said hello to them all?
You probably should
I was
have. You did.
busy.
What were you doing?
I was
I
doing
asked you to come over to say a few words,
I-
and you blew it
No,
off.
no. I was talking to our friends from Holdridge, John,
Okay.
and his son, and his son's wife. I was busy, and then I had some stuff to do back here
You-
for
I was-
production stuff.
I covered.
I was
for
not
You.
messing around. I was being very busy over
I
here.
covered for you.
Thank you.
They know. They know from listening to our show in the morning that you do actual work.
I do. I was working,
I just show up and talk.
and you do that well also. Sometimes words are difficult, but we make it happen together. So, once again, this
Here we
segment
are.
sponsored by A1 Automotive. Always honest answers. A1 Automotive at 11th and L. Stop on by today. Also, again, we got the mill, coffee, and tea open. They sell beer. I bought beer for Harrison. I bought a beer for Nick. I had a beer myself.
Oh, is Harrison
as well.
21?
Harrison's like 26 at this point.
Is he
25.
25?
Yeah, he was
Really?
he was a producer for us in the past. There's David from Renew walking by
Oh,
with
there's David.
the cigar in hand. Look at him.
Look at these
Look
guys.
at this man outside, the smoking stogies, walking down O Street like look at this. I love it.
David.
I love it. Hey, by
David.
the way, if you're out there on YouTube or the text line, please text us 402-464-5685. Listener, you're listening, where you're listening from, your age, if you'd like to. It's a Saturday roll call, and also YouTube. I want to know you are with us and listening as we prepare for Nebraska, Northern Iowa. It's been an interesting day so far in college football, Sip. LSU was down 17-0 to South Carolina. They did win the game.
LSU came back and won.
36-33. South Carolina missed a 49-yard field goal to tie the game to end regulation. LSU wins 36-33 in the Big Ten. No surprise, but kind of nice to see as Nebraska fans. Wisconsin got blown away by Alabama, 42-10. The Badgers get rolled
Watch
at
that.
Camp Randall by Roll Tide.
And that was a very predictable game as we
Yes.
forecasted this week. And I was thinking about it, Jake. When I forecasted that game this week and said Alabama will cover, I hadn't even seen Alabama, but
You just knew.
no, I had seen Wisconsin,
Okay.
and it's an interesting commentary if you think about it. I had seen Wisconsin, very ordinary team. Okay, they just look very ordinary. And then the other part of the commentary is you just know intuitively that Alabama's got dudes. And then when you
Yeah.
turn on the TV,
Yeah.
they got dudes. They look so much different than Wisconsin. That would trouble me if I was the head coach of Wisconsin. It would.
I missed most of that game. I did catch the fourth quarter, and I saw the final touchdown, which made it 42-10, and just a complete blown coverage. The tight end was wide open by like 30 yards, walking in for a touchdown from Milroe to make it 42-10. The Badgers don't have an offense. Their defense is not what it used to be. It just feels like the Luke Fickell era is heading toward a Bill Callahan, Mike Riley type of thing. And it's nice to see somebody that has beaten you down for years headed the wrong direction. Welcome to our hell we were in for 10 years.
I don't know how it'll end up with Fickell, but yeah, it doesn't look great right now. They don't have the big time running back right now. And I'm just talking about the athletic profile of the teams was so heavily one-sided.
Right.
You didn't have to be a football expert to see it. And again, I don't even have Jake. Alabama is such a machine that I didn't even have to know what they have to know they were going to beat Wisconsin. Now, what's that tell you? Okay, that now tells you a lot about Wisconsin right now. They're just very ordinary, but it also tells you a lot about what Saban did at Alabama, which he just built a monster.
Yep.
And they are really good. Now, okay, so LSU, I give them a lot of credit for coming back on the road in a full house. I did watch enough of that game.
Right, on the road.
Yeah, I did watch enough of that game to know it was a full-packed, tough environment. And now I'm going to call that a great win for LSU. I'm going to call that a great win.
Well, again, Carolina was 2-0. They had just blown the doors off Kentucky the previous week. So they were a good 2-0 unranked. But up 17-zip at home, you lose that game?
Yeah, that's rough.
It's a great, again, not a bad start, LSU, but the fact they came back and won, kudos to Brian Kelly and company, and Nussmeier, the quarterback, looked pretty good in that second half.
Yeah. I mean, just a great character win for Brian Kelly's team. Now, what else is going on? It looked like Notre Dame is handling Purdue. Last I saw it was 21-0.
You are correct. I picked Purdue to cover. That's a bad pick by Jake. Bad pick. 21-zip, okay. Fighting Irish are rolling at West Lafayette.
I'm surprised by that.
Actually, sorry. 28-0.
Okay, I'm surprised.
With 2 minutes to go in the second half, it is a blowout in West Lafayette. Other games of note going on right now. Oregon leads Oregon State in the Civil War 22-7 at Oregon State. Texas A&M up 10-zip at Florida. Oklahoma's up 21-0 on Tulane, who nearly beat Kansas State last week. And by the way, K-State blew the doors off Arizona last night in a ranked matchup there. So Tulane, that is an impressive start for Oklahoma. 21-zip on Tulane right now.
Do you have last night's UNLV Kansas score?
I do have that. Sip last night. Yes, UNLV. Hang on, I had it.
UNLV won the game.
UNLV won the game, and we said that was possible. We did say, hey,
you did.
Lance, that's a scary game
you and Bill
for our friend Lance Leipold. UNLV wins at Kansas 23-20. I was told by Big Swim, Nick Sainer, that through 3 games, Jalen Daniels has 7 picks for Kansas.
Yeah, Kansas doesn't look great, but that's what I saw in that game, and I was watching it. I didn't watch every snap, but Jake, I think if you haven't seen UNLV, you'd be surprised how good they are.
They look,
yeah, you'd be maybe not surprised because
they had a contender for that last group of 5 pick for the playoff.
Yeah, they're. Again, I always talk about athletic profile. That's a really athletic team. I was startled by it. They're UNLV, that's Barry Odom, okay?
It is.
Odom obviously knows what he's doing because he's got UNLV in just think about what happened last night. They went into Kansas and won the game. Would Nebraska go beat Kansas on the road? I think we'd be very concerned, right?
Yes.
We'd be very concerned.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Yes, and rightfully so.
And UNLV went and did it. I guarantee if UNLV and Nebraska played on a neutral field, I think that game's close.
I wouldn't like that.
I think that game's close.
That'd be bad.
Now, their quarterback can't throw it very well, but he's a good runner. If they had a passing quarterback, a good dual threat quarterback in that system, in the UNLV system, they'd be even more dangerous.
Think about that. Okay, so UNLV goes on the road to Kansas. A good Kansas team wins 23-20.
Yeah, they're good.
Like they completed 7 passes in the game.
Then the guy's not very good thrower.
They were 7. Matthew Sluka, the quarterback, was 7 for 18 for 86 yards and a touchdown. He did run it 19 times for 124 yards.
He's a good runner.
They're not a passing threat.
No,
they had 7 completions and won the game on the road.
Right. That's amazing. He's not a good passer. He missed some guys, just missed some open guys downfield. Looks kind of awkward throwing the ball. But, man, but his rushing numbers, those are real because he's a good runner. He's a really good runner.
Other games of note before we move on to Nebraska as we go through other games. Michigan did not look good, but they did beat Arkansas State 28-18. Late touchdown made that 18. It was 28-10 really.
Okay.
But they scored like with 8 seconds left to make it 28-18.
It's not great, though.
Missouri was down 14-3 to Thomas Castellanos and Bill O'Brien in Boston College. Missouri came back and won 27-21. But that means BC is kind of for real
good.
there.
Yeah, they're good.
They're kind of for real. Speaking of Boston College, though, Sip, a team they beat in their first game, and this team's second game is Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
The Seminoles of Florida State, who were nearly in last year's college football playoff, are 0-3 on this young football season, and it's getting late early for Florida State.
It is.
It's over, actually, for Florida State.
They lose to Memphis.
The final score of that game, Memphis beats Florida State. Where did it go? I lost it there. They beat 20-12. Memphis on the road takes down Florida State. The Seminoles have lost 4 straight games going back to last year. They're 0-3 on this season. Wow.
I just have to wonder. Oh God, this. I think we used to debate this sort of topic in our early days of early break. It makes me wonder what that bowl loss, the 63-3 bowl loss to Georgia.
Oh, we did talk about this,
Yeah.
and you disagreed wholeheartedly with me, saying it's the different season, Jake. Oh, really? Well, let's see. Show me how that works.
And right now there's some indication here that I'm coming around to your way of thinking. I'm wondering if that
About time. Well,
took a lot out of that program. I wonder if that you lose 63-3, and it may taken something out of the FSU program. It makes you wonder.
Well, again, against a non-Power 5 team, Florida State at home has a total of 238 yards of offense, including, how about this, Sip?
It's terrible.
Now, there's sacks involved, but 24 carries for 37 yards rushing. DJU was 16 for 30 for 201. No touchdowns.
He's a lot of the problem, obviously.
DJ Uiagalelei.
He's a lot of the problem. And now this is the way you can segue to Nebraska.
Okay.
Florida State got the wrong quarterback.
They did.
Badly. It's pretty evident that DJU is not the guy. And you saw him in the loss to BC and how kind of, he doesn't have any, he really has no fire. That he doesn't bring any kind of energy at all to the table. Nebraska's got a quarterback. I think through 2 games, it's evident to pretty much anybody paying attention that Nebraska, that 5-star rating means something in this case. And Jake, I always say, I keep saying it, but a lot of it's amazing to me in that it's the intangibles that stick out to me. His brain and his preparation are so good. He'll be ready tonight. And those you and I coaches that watch film, they know it. They watch that film and they see the decision he makes and how prepared he is. I don't worry about number 15 one bit.
Now, we mentioned this during the week too. I think that if you're in Nebraska, you are actually, again, maybe you and I wish this game was a 11 a.m. game because it's not a very big match.
I do wish it was an 11.
But for the fact of hopefully not overlooking Northern Iowa and sleepwalking, you're
Right.
kind of happy it's a night game because
yeah.
this is one of those games that, again, you should win at any time of the day. But at 11 a.m., this is Northern Iowa's Super Bowl. This is a big game for them coming into Memorial Stadium.
Yeah.
The fact you got a jacked up crowd at nighttime won't be the same as last week. I understand that in terms of
it will be jacked up though. You're right,
but it's not a sleepy crowd.
No, it won't be.
The students should be there.
Yeah,
this should avoid any sort of major meltdown or
I totally
huge
agree.
Loss by Nebraska.
Yeah, Jake, I think I totally agree, and a lot of it's a defensive discussion because the crowd really can help a defense, and the defense feeds off that energy, and then the energy from the defense, it's reciprocal is what I'm getting at. And yeah, UNI's in trouble. They are. You know what? If it was a sleepy stadium, yeah, you'd worry a little bit more, but because it's a night game, I don't really worry at all. So yeah, it's unfortunate for UNI. It's possible they could get their running backs going a little bit, especially in the middle of the field, but it'll be hard for them, when that field tightens up, to get in the end zone. I don't expect them to get in the end zone. I think they'll kick a couple field goals, and that'll be about it.
I'm always nervous when people say, I expect a shutout.
Yeah,
Because weird things happen. Could be a punt return. Could be a pick six or a strip sack, something like that.
Yeah.
Against even backups. To ask for a shutout for all 4 quarters when you have a lot of, if they're winning comfortably, third and fourth stringers come in and they make mistakes.
Right.
And that's okay. They don't play very often. They're supposed to make mistakes.
Right. No, you're 100%.
So you will not hear me say anything like that. Oh, I predict a shutout. No, weird things happen in college football and football in general. But we can say, I think you and I both, that Nebraska should win this game comfortably.
Yeah.
Without any sort of. Couple years ago, 2010 to be exact, Nebraska had a great start, 5-0, right?
Yes.
But they had a really tough game at home against South Dakota State. They won that game 17-10.
Yeah.
There was a pick six for the Jackrabbits called back by an illegal block on the play.
Oh, I remember.
And Nebraska was good that year. That was a ranked Nebraska team. Night game.
Yeah, it was scary. It was scary.
So you want to avoid stuff by giving the underdog any sort of momentum early on.
I remember what I was thinking when that guy was running the ball into the end zone.
I
think
Derek Domino was his name, by the way. I don't know why I remember that, but I
do.
They
were going to go ahead, weren't they?
Either ahead or tied, one of the two.
And my thought was that, my God, Nebraska's going to lose this game. They're going to lose this game. And then the flag flew.
Right.
So, and by the way, off topic, I did not know we had ticket transport in the form of a golf cart.
That is new, thanks to our friends at Price Right Auto Sales, Carl and Company on West O Street.
You're kidding me.
You know Carl.
You're kidding
Carl
me.
Jensvold, that Carl. Yeah, that's right.
Carl Jensvold
He's hooked us
supplied
up with
it?
a golf cart.
Really? I haven't talked to Carl in a while.
You should call him. He'd appreciate
Carl supplied that?
He did.
Wow. Thank you, Carl.
Go buy a golf cart or you own it at Nebraska Auto Sales, Price Right Auto Sales over at West
Are they
O
selling
Street.
golf carts?
They sell several golf carts there. They're it's very nice.
It is.
It's regal.
Yeah, it is regal.
It's regal.
Yeah, we don't have Bill here today, but Bill is one that will tell you, and he's kind of taught us that it's nearly impossible to pitch a shutout. It's nearly impossible to do it.
Things for Nebraska to work on.
Yeah, you know this.
Would be against special teams. You need, by the way, just a plug for your team next week. Illinois is 3-0. They didn't look great. They beat Central Michigan, I think, 30-9 today. So they won by 21. They weren't overly impressive, but they beat Kansas last week. They're 3-0. You got a team coming in that expects to win.
Wow.
They could be ranked next week coming in here. Could be.
Yep.
So listen, it could be a very tight game next week. Next Friday. You had better get, number one, the snapping figured out, which was a point of
long snapping.
Talk by Matt Rule on Thursday.
Yeah, make sure you point out long snapping.
Not center snapping.
Not Ben Scott. Not Ben Scott.
Cameron Watucky and crew there.
Yeah.
And figure out if you can get confidence from Tristan Alvano and Brian Buschini in all that setup there.
Right. So I think we're going to be this. It's sort of interesting. We're watching long snapping tonight. The long snappers
and perimeter blocking.
Very odd. Very odd.
Lock in, Sip.
I thought about that last night. I might be writing about perimeter blocking and the long snappers after this game, because the whole stadium is going to be watching the long snapping. It's interesting, isn't it? I mean, I think I would almost hesitate as a head coach to identify that publicly, but the cat got out of the bag on Monday.
It did.
Yeah, that's what we talked about a lot this week.
There was 4 quotes by Satterfield on perimeter blocking from Tuesday's press conference.
Perimeter blocking. So that they were not happy with it last week. They just want to see more aggression. Then Garrett McGuire during the week, I think it was Wednesday, whenever the coaches are on statewide radio, McGuire kind of doubled down on it and said, it starts with Jamal Banks and Isaiah Nayor, big-bodied receivers that should block well. So those guys were kind of put on notice. Garrett McGuire's kind of put on notice. Ed Foley put on notice. Now that's all. It's fine. I mean, all those guys are making money. The players are making money. I mean, they are. And I guarantee you, Banks and Nayor are making a sizable chunk of money.
I think they are.
Yeah. Now, I don't know about the long snappers, but this is Rule. I mean, Rule expects a lot of this team, and he's coaching like there's high expectations, which is good, and it makes it fun. It's why I don't think there'll be a letdown tonight. Jake, I don't know this, but I would bet that this week of practice maybe was harder than the first 2. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Matt Rule did say it was a good week of practice. We've heard that a lot over the years at Nebraska, but
I bet he hammered on him a little bit.
I hope he did. Before we go, score prediction: Nebraska, Northern Iowa
you
tonight.
Go first. 6:30
kickoff. I think Northern Iowa will cover the spread. I believe it's at 32 right now.
It went up then. Well, while you're looking that up, I'll talk. I thought it was 30.5 early in the week. Maybe it's gone up to 32. I would need you to give me a score and not just a cover. I prefer that you give me
I typed it poorly. Let's say it's a 31-point spread. Okay. I've got Nebraska 40-14.
That's a good score.
So they win by 26.
Yeah.
Again, a comfortable win.
I've been saying 42-8. I don't know how you've
had some odd scores this year.
Yeah. I don't know how you get to 8, but it might be 2 field goals and a safety, something like that. But yeah, 40. They might go for 2 for the hell of it. 42-8. 42-8.
Probably more likely it's the 2-point conversion on 1 touchdown.
Yeah, 42-8.
So you have them covering. I have Nebraska winning comfortably, just not covering 30 points, which is just fine because 3-0 is 3-0.
Take 3-0, and then we got a Friday night.
Bring on the Illini.
Yeah, bring on the Illini on a Friday night.
I'll be there.
Yeah, it'll be yeah. You'll be with a lot of people, and it'll be exciting as hell. I'm glad. And I bet you Matt Rule is glad that Illinois is 3-0.
Well, they are.
Yeah.
They have your attention.
Big Ten test. This will complete the non-conference today, and we would think Nebraska will be 3-0.
That would be very nice. That's it for us. We'll pass it off to Jay Foreman and Nick Sainer at the Kindler Hotel. More on the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show next on 937 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive. Always honest answers.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The Electrical Workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a champ, it's action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. Touchdown! This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today.
I'm ready.
Burgers?
Check.
Chips?
Check.
Icy cold beer?
Check. Except this one.
I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread?
I can't stop eating it.
Rico,
relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today in most local grocery stores.
You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com, serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
Ready to hit the road in style? Liberty First Credit Union is revving up your ride with unbeatable auto loan specials. Cruise away with rates as low as 4.79% APR for 48 months on a 2020 or newer vehicle. Need a longer term? No worries. They've got you covered with 4.89 APR for 60 months and 4.99 APR for 72 months. Hurry, these rates are cruising fast, so don't get left in the dust. Visit libertyfirstcu.com. Credit factors apply. Rates, terms, and conditions subject to change.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman Postgame Show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman Postgame Show, sponsored by Anderson Ford, Tanner's Bar and Grill, Tavern 180, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Vinnie Krekak of State Farm Insurance, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Back to the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Brought to you by General Fire and Safety.
What's up, young man? I see you. Throw the bone.
We are live
There
from
he
the
is. Throw the
Kindler.
bone.
We are live from the Kindler Hotel. The A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show, getting you ready for Nebraska and Northern Iowa, just about 2 hours away from kickoff. Jay Foreman alongside Nick Sainert here on
hot.
the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate
It
Pregame
is
Show.
hot. It's Africa hot out here.
This segment is sponsored by our friends at General Fire and Safety. Are you starting a business in a brand new building? Call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific need of your business, employees, and customers. Go to LincolnGFS.com for more info. All right, as Jay mentioned, it is a little warm out here, right?
It's not warm.
I'm not sure how we always get to be on the patio. It's a great spot. The Kindler's a great
beautiful.
spot.
I can't wait.
But man, it's hot.
wait till the fall and it's cold. We'll be out here and get a little sunshine. But right now, we are getting all the UV rays that we can handle.
You said it before we came back on the air. We're both glistening.
No, I am glistening.
You're glistening.
You were just sweating.
I'm just sweating. Okay,
Yeah.
There you have it. Anyway, Jay, we're sitting here ahead of Nebraska's third opportunity this season. They have a chance to go 3-0 heading into the conference slate, and obviously Illinois awaiting them next Friday. Can't look forward to Illinois, which could potentially be a ranked versus ranked matchup. Nebraska ranked for the first time in a couple of years. I'd imagine that if you're Matt Rule and company, none of that really matters.
No, I mean, really, this is another step in the right direction. You got to prove yourself right versus proving people wrong. And obviously, this is a different week because I think it's been 6 years or something since Nebraska has been ranked. And so there is a lot more obligations. There's a lot more pats on the back. And, you feel like, sometimes around here, you feel like you've won a national championship by beating a unranked Colorado team. But again, it's 2 steps in the right direction. Right and the wrong from the year prior, and then also proven to what you worked on in the offseason, which came to fruition last week. And so to double down on it, as I like to say, is you got a game opponent in Northern Iowa. I mean, look, this is a coach that's been there for over 20 years, so he is embedded in that program. They're going to be tough. They're going to try to be physical. They're going to try to run the ball, and they're going to try to make you beat them. And then if you're not showing up with the right mindset, they're going to try to beat you at the end. And so I think it's a great challenge for Nebraska. I view this season and this game all in the same. I think it's a maturity game. The maturity game is being able to be mature enough to accept the pats on the back. Obviously celebrate the win, but then also be mature enough to get back to business and then understand that this is just 2 games of a 12-game season. And now you're in the 3rd week and you have to go out there and prove yourself once again. Nothing is done. You haven't made a bowl game. You haven't, beat a ranked team or anything like that. And that's not hating or minimizing it. That's just being realistic. And what we did last week on the national stage was great. Now let's go out there and do it again because we're playing at 6:30. We're ranked, one of the few teams playing at night, which is 6:30, kickoff. So it's a great opportunity to – I always call these like mini bowl games because all eyes are on you. But then also to, set the stage for possibly 2 ranked teams playing next week, which would be Illinois coming in on Friday night.
There's a lot to talk about regarding like Nebraska and what type of offense they're going to face. I want to talk defense in a couple of minutes. First, I want to ask you, though, through 2 games, obviously Dylan Raiola has been the quarterback. And I was watching other college football games this morning and things like that over the last couple of weeks, in fact. And it's been so much like I think that has gone under the radar at times with Nebraska's offense is Dylan has such an experienced surrounding cast around him.
Sure.
How have you seen that benefit him through the first 2 weeks? Because it's been obviously the 2-0 and the Nebraska defense has been spectacular or pretty good at least through 2 games.
They've been pretty good. I think the biggest thing, if you go back even to Adrian Martinez, that was his best year.
Yeah.
We had veteran guys that knew how to play and you could count on. And when you're a young player, that's what you need. And that's what Dylan is. He's a 19-year-old freshman, just straight out of college. He's a 5-star recruit. He's a legit 5-star recruit. I think what makes it even that much better is that he has a command of the offense. He knows what real work is. He is seeing the bigger picture versus, okay, I'm here as a freshman. I think I've arrived. I think he works hard every single day. He has a leg up on, a lot of kids in college. Whether you're a freshman or a senior, that he's been around the program. He's had a famous dad, and a iconic figure here around in Nebraska, and he didn't run away from that. And so he's showing you all that, that was written about him is true, along with the guys that have came in. I think that you got to give Coach Rule and Sean Patton, kudos that they went out and got guys that they know that they could depend on that I call it tangible, right? So, they've done it somewhere, and it's recent. And you're not hoping, right? It's not a Omar Manning where you're like, okay, I hope he, lives up to the so-called potential. Jamal Banks, Nair, the 4-headed monster in the running back room. Then you got Dante Dowdell, who's taking the lead of it. The offensive line is a veteran unit. And so you're surrounding Dylan with the best case scenario, along with a pretty gettable schedule, so he can get out there and start to prove himself. But I think also the expectations or what they thought they were going to get early, I think he's exceeded it. His leadership by his actions and how he goes about his business probably was underestimated, and they probably had a good feel for it. But I think also Dylan has raised his level of leadership and play as the pressure's gotten bigger, which is he's had to come in, and I think Coach Rule said it, he had to improve on some things so he could be the starter. He did that, and then he's taken it to a whole nother level. He's cool, calm, and collective. And then also I think he provides a sense of leadership for a 19-year-old kid. And listen, the type of games in the high school he's went to and the environment he's grown up in, you can't really call him a freshman anymore, even though he's a 19-year-old kid. He's way ahead of his time, and so the Nebraska's, getting the fruits of his labor.
Once again, this is the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. This segment sponsored by our friends at General Fire and Safety. Visit them online, LincolnGFS.com for more info. Okay, so we've had conversations on the postgame shows, and we're going to have one after the Northern Iowa contest later tonight, and a lot of it's going to be surrounding the sustainability or the balance, I think, on offense. And one thing we've talked about on the postgame shows previously has been that Nebraska's offense has been pretty balanced, right? They've been able to do kind of whatever they want offensively to this point. How do you see that kind of is it going to change tonight? Like, is this a game where you could see Nebraska, similar to UTEP, they get to the second half, they get a plethora of guys, fresh bodies in there, and they're able to maybe run the ball a little more heavy? Or do you see that being kind of the approach going from the get-go?
You got to do what you do, man. I mean, everybody's, you think like you're going to hold a secret playbook to when you play against a good opponent. You got to line up and play it. You got a game plan for each opponent. You got a game plan for Northern Iowa. It's been almost, 50-50, 60-40 run pass. And so that's what you expect more. Now, you spread your wings a little bit? Sure. But you got to earn that right.
Yeah.
You don't need to get out of your comfort zone or out of your identity based on, you getting up by 2.5 scores or 3 scores.
Yeah.
Play your game, and you play it long enough and hard enough. The spread, or not, I guess the spread in the score, and I'm not talking about betting, will get there. And so don't rush to do something that's you're not either ready to do or don't want to do. They've been explosive. There's been a couple drops that would actually, be extremely explosive pass plays. They've been explosive in the run play and a subjective, holding call. So I think they're right on time and right on schedule to, go where they want to offensively.
And on top of that, I mean, so here's a pretty accurate example of that is today in the South Carolina LSU game. Their starting quarterback, I was telling Austin, got hurt when South Carolina was up by multiple scores. They brought in their backup quarterback because they had to, obviously, and they didn't feel comfortable enough running their offense with that guy. So they had to run 15 of their next 17 plays were running plays, and eventually allowed LSU to get back into the game, and the LSU ends up winning that one. So I think to that point, that's interesting. Okay, let's talk defense before we get out of here and go our ways. When you look at that Northern Iowa's offense here, a little bit more of a ground and pound. I know we've had a lot of conversations about their running backs. How does this get you ready if you're Nebraska's defense, which a lot would say is their strength is the running defense, the rush defense for Nebraska? How does that prepare you for what you're about to see the next 6 weeks of the season?
Yeah, I mean, it does because, they have a couple big backs at Northern Iowa, and obviously so does Illinois, and Illinois won earlier today against Central Michigan. So it somewhat gets you prepared, but you're only going to be prepared as you play today. So at the end of the day, they're going to test your principles. How long do you want to stay in the fight? The mindset needs to be, let's see how long they want to stay in the fight. We have a lot of depth and size and speed and strength at the defensive line. The second level linebackers have played well along with our third level. So it's got to be business as usual. And we got to tackle well. We got to be physical. We got to play with great energy. And, let's look at it as a defensive battle. Let's look at our defense sets the tone for the game because we got to expect their defense to come out and try to, confuse a freshman quarterback, so forth and so on. And so, yes, you have opponents that have like offenses down the road, but the worst thing you could do is look down the road and not handle your business right now. Listen, if it's not Notre Dame last week, it's Florida State against Memphis. Memphis winning to Florida State, beat the brakes off of them. Mike Norvell is calling his realtor and X, Y, and Z. So if the great thing about playing at 6:30, you get to see some teams that potentially made some mistakes that you don't want to make that can change your mindset, flip the switch even a little bit higher than intensity, and come out there at 6:30 and play well.
A little bit of news coming out of Memorial Stadium is injury reports and so on and so forth. You have Bly Hill, obviously Javen Wright out. That hasn't been that's not a new development. However, Nebraska will be without their right guard Micah Mazuka today against the Northern Iowa Panthers. Jamari Butler, defensive lineman, defensive end, outside linebacker, kind of hybrid guy is out, or is questionable rather today. So Nebraska without their starting right guard Micah Mazuka today. Jamari Butler is questionable on the defensive side. All right, Jay, before we get out of here, prediction. What do we think happens?
I think we'll win by 3 or 4 scores. I think the Northern Iowa will come out excited. This is a big opportunity for them.
It is.
And they're a well-respected program. They got a lot of respect, and they got they got some some moxie to them, and so they'll come out and compete. But this is good. But I think eventually we'll take over And we'll continue to spread our wings and beat them pretty handily.
Yeah, I feel like it could potentially be a 40-something to less than 10 points. I think Nebraska's defense will be able to kind of be pretty strong today for the Nebraska Huskers and Matt Rule. All right, that'll do it for us here from the Kindler Hotel. Once again, this segment sponsored by General Fire and Safety. Are you starting a business in a brand new building? Call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Go to Lincoln GFS for more info. That's LincolnGFS.com. All right, next up, it's for Sean and Terrell from our 1040 O Street studios here in downtown Lincoln. This is the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a champ, it's action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. Touchdown! This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial to residential to agricultural storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com. Attention students and anyone else looking for a great deal. Sun Valley Lanes and Games has the ultimate weeknight special. For just $15.95, enjoy unlimited bowling, lucky putt mini golf, and laser tag. Flash your college ID at check-in to receive $2 off your admission. It's the perfect way to unwind Sunday through Thursday nights. Check out sunvalleylanes.com for hours and availability. Sun Valley Lanes and Games, located at 321 Victory Lane.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete. Sun Valley.
Hey, bestie. Whoa, how'd you snag that awesome set of wheels? I'm in the market for a new car, too.
My friends at Members Own Credit Union. You're always in the driver's seat when it comes to your finances at Members Own.
Always in the driver's seat, huh?
Yep. They set you up with a loan that makes sense for your budget with great rates and top-notch customer service to boot.
Looks like we're going to need to make a pit stop.
Let's go. I'll drive. Hit the road to financial success and explore auto loan options with your best financial friend, Members Own Credit Union. For details, go to membersowncu.org/drive. Federally insured by the NCUA.
There's a little kitchen ambition in everyone, and the experts at Schaefer's and Frigidaire make it easy to turn that ambition into fruition. I'm Amber Pankinen, and I'm always looking for ways to cook, clean, and keep my kitchen in order. Frigidaire has a solution for everyone, from the budget-minded to the chef-inspired. The experts at Schaefer's can help you find the right fit with the features you need. Maybe it's induction, air fry, or sous vide. Frigidaire has it all, and Schaefer's has the answers. Stop in and explore Frigidaire with our experts at Schaefer's today.
The Kindler Hotel in downtown Lincoln is a boutique hotel experience unlike any other in the area. Their 45 well-appointed rooms take inspiration from the history of Lincoln. Their double queen rooms are great for guests traveling with family, and the suites are great for a business trip or romantic getaway. No trip to the Kindler is complete without a handcrafted cocktail from Boitano's Lounge on the main floor, with comfortable seating options both inside and on the outside patio. Book your room today at thekindlerhotel.com in Lincoln at 11th and P.
You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com. Serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Concerts keep rolling at Pinewood Bowl with a great show on Wednesday, September 18th. Bare Naked Ladies headlines with Toad the Wet Sprocket starting things off at 7 p.m. for a trip down 90s memory lane. Don't miss Bare Naked Ladies and Toad the Wet Sprocket on Wednesday, September 18th at Pinewood Bowl. Get tickets today at Ticketmaster.com.
Back to the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Sunbelt Rentals.
Yeah. Keep the music going, Harrison. Keep it coming. Turn it up a little, Harrison. 90, there we go. 93.7 The Ticket. It's the captain I'm with.
The black shirt.
Oh, and it's game day, black shirt. Not only is game day, it's inauguration day for you.
Well, that was last night, but this is the
celebration
day.
You get to give it to the fans.
Yeah.
Everybody wasn't there.
Yeah, it was nice last night. Nice to see former players, former coaches. Big turnout. But we got a big turnout here today for this UNI game.
Man, listen, this is me, Terrell. We're in the studio. This is Sunbelt Rentals. From lawn and landscape equipment to hand tools, pressure washers, portable generators, and more. Sunbelt Rentals makes it easy to get what you need. When you get it, sunbeltrentals.com. That's where you get it from. So make sure y'all get to Sunbelt Rentals. We got a game. We got a big game against Northern Iowa. Just got some news in. Offensive lineman, Mazuka, out.
That's all right. Next guy, step up.
Out.
Step up. Get an experience plan. And, hey, we'll see you next week, Mazuka.
If this is the game, if there was a game to be out, this would be the game. Not next week, not the week after that. Terrell, I happen to just glimpse up. I'm struggling right now. I'm really struggling. I can't believe I picked Notre Dame over Purdue. I mean, Purdue over Notre Dame.
Yeah.
What was I thinking?
I don't know
what was I thinking. It's Purdue.
Yeah, that's not a level of football that you can pick Purdue over Notre Dame.
At all. I should not have done that. My apologies, Notre Dame. It'll never happen again. Then I looked at another game. That's a shocker.
Boston College.
Oh, my gosh.
Never had a chance against
Oh, my gosh. Who picked Boston College?
You and Williams.
Who was crazy enough to pick Florida State? Isn't that who they played?
I don't know. We didn't have
Who did
Florida
Boston
State.
College play? Whoever
Missouri.
they played.
Missouri.
I thought I picked Missouri.
You were listening to Daniels.
I picked Missouri?
No, you picked Boston College.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
I promise you.
I bet you.
Listen, no, I picked Missouri because I said Caleb Pyfrom, who's from Omaha. I know his dad. That's why.
Yeah, you said sorry, Caleb.
Listen, Lincoln, Nebraska. It is game day in the city, another night game. I know you guys have been drinking plenty of water. Harrison, fire water, that is. So you're going to be fired up, stoked up. Listen, have you ever, how long has it been since you heard our crowd be that noisy, be that energized?
14.
That is wild.
Yeah.
10 years, Harrison.
I tossed up 09 maybe. Texas,
Probably,
Nebraska.
yeah,
That one's close.
yeah.
But guys, we are going to wrap it up here before we go ahead and throw it out to it's going to be Aaron Davis, Chris Raff from the Kindler Hotel up next. But before we do that, guys, score predictions versus you and I.
38-10, 42-10.
You know what? I'm going to say we win by 37 points or better. I don't care what it is. I can't give you an exact number, but I think here, let me give it to you this way. Dylan Raiola throws for 4 to 5 touchdown passes through the air. We run for another 3 to 4 on the ground. I think we put a complete game together. Over 500 yards of total offense. We might just get the shutout.
So you saying they're going to reach half a century?
I think so.
Okay,
50 to nothing.
Okay. Ooh.
We'll take that. Again, we're going to wrap things up on this segment. But up next, Aaron Davis, Chris Raff from the Kindler Hotel. This segment sponsored by Sunbelt Rentals. From lawn and landscape equipment to hand tools, pressure washers, portable generators, and more. Sunbelt Rentals makes it easy to get what you need when you need it at sunbeltrentals.com. Don't go anywhere. We'll keep the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show rolling on the other side.
The Kindler Hotel in downtown Lincoln is a boutique hotel experience unlike any other in the area. Their 45 well-appointed rooms take inspiration from the history of Lincoln. Their double queen rooms are great for guests traveling with family, and the suites are great for a business trip or romantic getaway. No trip to the Kindler is complete without a handcrafted cocktail from Boitano's Lounge on the main floor, with comfortable seating options both inside and on the outside patio. Book your room today at thekindlerhotel.com in Lincoln at 11th and P.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
If you want to order like a champ, it's action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. Touchdown! This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
This is Shane Podliska, mortgage lender at Lincoln Federal Savings Bank. I'm here to help you achieve your goal, the American dream of home ownership. Whether you're buying your first home or looking to refinance, I've got the experience and know-how to make it happen. So let's tackle this together. Call me, Shane Podliska, and let's get you into the end zone of home ownership. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Go Big Red.
Personal banking like you remember.
You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com. Serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
There's a little kitchen ambition in everyone, and the experts at Schaefer's and Frigidaire make it easy to turn that ambition into fruition. I'm Amber Pankinen, and I'm always looking for ways to cook, clean, and keep my kitchen in order. Frigidaire has a solution for everyone, from the budget-minded to the chef-inspired. The experts at Schaefer's can help you find the right fit with the features you need. Maybe it's induction, air fry, or sous vide. Frigidaire has it all, and Schaefer's has the answers. Stop in and explore Frigidaire with our experts at Schaefer's today.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Empower a child today with a Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today.
I'm ready.
Burgers?
Check.
Chips?
Check.
Icy cold beer?
Check. Except this one.
I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread?
I can't stop eating it.
Rico!
Relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today in most local grocery stores.
Ready to hit the road in style? Liberty First Credit Union is revving up your ride with unbeatable auto loan specials. Cruise away with rates as low as 4.79% APR for 48 months on a 2020 or newer vehicle. Need a longer term? No worries. They've got you covered with 4.89 APR for 60 months and 4.99 APR for 72 months. Hurry, these rates are cruising fast, so don't get left in the dust. Visit libertyfirstcu.com. Credit factors apply. Rates, terms, and conditions subject to change.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Back to the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Brought to you by the Kindler Hotel.
Welcome back to the Kindler Patio. I'm Austin Norman. Aaron Davis is close by. It's hot outside. He needs something to drink. It's been a long day. I don't blame him. He'll be here in just a couple moments. And then stay tuned for the next segment. We are back here at the Kindler to wrap things up. It'll be me and former Husker tight end Chancellor Brewington. This segment is brought to you by the Kindler Hotel. You can book your stay today at the Kindler Hotel in one of their 45 well-appointed guest rooms that provide luxury in the heart of downtown. Enjoy a drink at Boitano's Lounge while you're here and take in the outdoor patio where we are seated. Book your stay today at thekindlerhotel.com. Lots to get to here in this next segment. We'll take you right up till about 5:20 or so. A couple just news and notes before we get into some pregame analysis with Aaron Davis. First of all, let's just look across the river. Let's look to the border state of Iowa. Hawkeyes having some trouble with the Trojans of Troy. At the half, Troy leads Iowa 14-10. Now, wouldn't that be some sweet irony? Troy comes in and beats Nebraska when Adrian Martinez was out with a knee injury in 2018. No injury for Cade McNamara this year. Pretty efficient first half, only 3 incompletions for him. But Iowa still only 10 points on the scoreboard despite 200 yards of total offense in the first half. 14-10, Trojans over the Hawkeyes right now. And then the injury news, right? You heard people mention it throughout the day. Bly Hill is out. Thank you, Mr. Aaron Davis. I appreciate you. He joins me here. AD, the injury news for the Huskers. We just got the injury report. Bly Hill remains out. We have who's the other one? Javen Wright, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
The surprise listed as out today. Right guard Micah Mazuka is out. We have not seen a rationale given yet, but when you hear Micah Mazuka is out, most likely Henry Lutovsky in his spot. Your initial thoughts on that?
You know, with obviously with Javian, we knew that was going to happen. Actually, I call him little nephew. That's my little guy. I can't say little guy because he's not a little guy by any stretch.
All
of the
6'5", 240 is a little guy.
You know, and Toby was my teammate in there, but I did not know that Mike was going to be out today. Did they mention why?
I haven't seen anything on that quite yet.
So I'm not sure on that. You know, those things would be pivotal. But I'll say this, Austin, and listeners take this with a grain of salt a little bit, because of the depth we've developed over the past couple years, that has helped out, if you would. So although that's a big one to have out, I got full confidence the backups will do just fine on that.
Looking like Lutovsky and then probably Tyler Kanak there. And then the other player on the injury report listed as questionable, Jamari Butler. The offensive line has been pretty solid. The defensive line has been one of the best units on the team.
Right.
The two guys on the right side of the line, Ty Robinson, now Schutmacher, have gotten a lot of the attention, but Jamari Butler coming off, matching up with a lot of right tackles primarily. He led Nebraska in sacks last year, had another good game against Colorado. He doesn't get as many headlines, and I like Nebraska's depth on the DLAD, but man, Jamari Butler, if he's out, or questionable, we hope this is just a short-term thing for a guy that is truly a leader on Nebraska's defense.
And you know what? Going into a game like this, Austin, and this is, first of all, this is not discrediting UNI whatsoever.
No.
Because a formidable opponent. And what I'll say by that, in the FCS, and in fact, I wanted to read this to you real quick, Austin. Some of the numbers they have there and the things that they're doing, they're impressive. Now, I know some Husker fans are going like, what are you talking about? They're impressive. I mean, this is an FCS school. Here's the deal, though. So I'm pulling these stats up. First of all, in the FCS, they're 21st in total offense. Rushing offense, they're 4th. Passing offense, now not as well because they run 66% of the time. Then you have scoring offense, they're 37. Total defense, they're 7th. Rushing defense, 7th. Passing defense, 19th. The thing that I'm saying right now, Nebraska, I don't want them to take this game lightly, Austin. Even with the injuries you mentioned, Mazuka, potentially Jamari Butler. I don't want them to take this game lightly because at the same time, this is a team that's still learning how to win.
Yes.
And let's be honest, Austin, because I was listening to you with Strick earlier this week, and this is not knocking Colorado whatsoever. It's the truth. The first two teams we beat aren't very good teams.
No.
Would you agree to that?
I would agree. UTEP lost to Nebraska, obviously, and then lost to an FCS team.
Right.
And Colorado squeaked by North Dakota State. You let them right back in the game before everything we witnessed at Memorial Stadium last weekend.
And also, you think about this. Now, going back 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks ago, you think about if that defensive back from North Dakota State, if he turns his head, that game may be a lot different.
Yeah.
That game may be a lot different. There was a few calls as far as that goes in that game.
Right.
But Colorado has a porous defensive line, porous offensive line. That game is history. That's no longer relevant. We have UNI right now tonight. And I'm going to tell you right now, UNI, I think last week their attendance was maybe like 10,000, give or take. They're going to play, in a stadium tonight. Good to see y'all. They're going to play a game tonight. There's going to be 85,000 plus. They're going to be screaming and yelling, going crazy. This is their bowl game, if you would.
Sure.
This is their bowl game. They will not play. And I haven't looked at the rest of their schedule. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, Austin. I don't know if they'll play in another atmosphere that'll be similar to Memorial Stadium tonight at 6:30.
Not another 85,000 at least.
No, they will not do that. So for those guys, they're thinking, you know what? We have nothing to lose. And and there's a part of me, Austin, I would have loved 35-0, 45-10, whatever. But you know what? It keeps Nebraska humble. It keeps them humble, hungry, and present. And all this talk, Austin, I've been hearing this a lot. I was traveling all this week, as you know, and I'm glad my voice is back because it was.
I'm glad.
It was pretty sketchy. It was pretty sketchy.
Even the pros have it good.
Yes. I am so glad. And I was talking to people around the country. I was in Montana the earliest week, Chicago, Minneapolis. And a lot of them said, you guys can go in I'll say 7-0. I said, no. We got to take care of who we have tonight. Don't think about 7 weeks from now. This is not a team that cannot afford to be thinking about skipping ahead of anybody because here's the reality. With everything that Raiola has done in week 1 and week 2, UTEP, Colorado, the reality is this. He is still a freshman quarterback. And really, Austin, I'm going to ask you, has he really been tested?
I don't know. I would say probably not fully. Without knowing everything Colorado and UTEP wanted to do schematically, maybe this is just having such a high opinion of Dylan Raiola, is that the couple mistakes he did make, right? He's put a couple different passes in danger each week. I think that's just on Dylan making a freshman mistake, right? Trying too hard to make a play. I don't know if it's anything schematic that the opposition has done, but I also think that he has a bunch of legitimate weapons around him.
Right.
So when he was tested, I think one test that he passed was against UTEP, checking into that long touchdown run or near touchdown run for Emmett Johnson, right? Play call comes in. UTEP shows a different look. He adjusts. Then they switch late. He quick adjusts the play back to that original run. Nebraska hits it for 42 yards. That's a test. It's still a college defense he hasn't faced before. But to your point, he's never played, a week 3 in college football before. He's never been in charge of a Nebraska team, this Nebraska team, in front of these fans with the expectation that they have. If Nebraska is able to take care of business, AD, they will be 3-0 in the non-conference for the first time since 2016.
That just seems
Before
like crazy,
that,
man.
it happened 2014, 2011, 10, 2005, 2003, 2001, and 2000.
Right.
And not like Nebraska's played pushovers all of those years, but for a program as proud as Nebraska's is, to not start 3-0 even half the time.
Right.
Granted, you're playing conference opponents before this as well. But if Nebraska is able to take care of business today, that's just another step in the right direction.
It really is. And you know what, Austin, I'm sure you caught this on the pundits on game day, big noon kickoff on Fox. Kirk Herbstreit showed Nebraska a lot of love, of course. There were others that showed Nebraska a lot of love. I guess I look at this. I'm going to ask you this. I look at this. I'm not saying pump the brakes. I'm saying take this graciously. A good friend of mine, Stan Parker, a former offensive guard for Nebraska, he goes, smell the perfume, but don't taste it. Smell the perfume, don't taste it. So, meaning, enjoy what the people are saying, but you know what? We haven't done anything yet. So keep taking this week by week, game by game. I'm going to ask you this. I'm going to go to Raiola again. So when he is tested, have you seen enough? And obviously it's 2 games, so it's probably not a fair question. We're going to ask you, though. Have you seen enough in 2 games where you can say, you know what? He's the difference maker. He's the modern day Frazier-esque. I'm saying esque. Like big time. Yep. I'm saying esque big time. This is only 2 games. We haven't played anybody. What you've seen so far, Austin, you've seen a lot. Do you think this is a guy that can take Nebraska to be relevant again in college football?
I would hope so. And I'm going to say that because we haven't seen, I think, the difference maker moment from Dylan Raiola, right? Where there's the game on the line or there's a huge moment, a huge situation. It's a turning point and he handles it well. But maybe that's exactly the point, AD, because how many previous Nebraska quarterbacks would make a moment where there doesn't need to be one? How many Nebraska teams would create a moment that didn't need to be there? The favorite example I have of this is in Major League Baseball. The Los Angeles Dodgers, right? Every postseason, they run Clayton Kershaw out of the bullpen.
Right.
He's a starting pitcher, right? But he's their best guy. So they're going to use him. They're going to rely on him. And I read on Twitter, someone described it as Dave Roberts does not manage the moment. He manages to create a moment, right? Because think about Clayton Kershaw in his career at the Dodgers, right? He needs that World Series ring. Then he's an upper echelon, inner circle, first ballot Hall of Fame type of guy. Whether it's true or not, the sense from Dodgers fans and pundits was Dave Roberts was managing the moment to give Clayton Kershaw his moment instead of doing what was best for the team. So far this year, Nebraska hasn't gotten itself into needing a guy to bail them out of a moment. Nebraska has been able to play relatively consistent, relatively steady football and keep anyone that they're facing at arm's length so far, right? UTEP 40-7, a little hairy early, defense turns the game, and then Nebraska's off to the races. Last week, 28-0. Nebraska rode that wave of momentum, rode the energy, and was able to maintain that into the second half and eventual 28-10 win. What tells me that Dylan Raiola could be a difference maker for the program moving forward isn't that he's done anything so incredibly special overboard that just blows your mind. It's that he's managed the game well enough to not need to. And I think having that sense of poise and control is something Nebraska's lacked at the quarterback position for a while.
Awesome. Ask you this, man. You look at our defensive front, and obviously with the question of Jamari Butler potentially not playing tonight, our defensive front did a lot of damage against Colorado last week. And folks, if you haven't watched Chasing 3, have you watched that Chasing 3, the latest episode? Good. Oh, I watched it 5 times. I'm not gonna lie. Watched it 5 times. And again, Austin, just again last night.
I didn't fly Wi-Fi. Good stuff.
Yeah, I watched it again because I was so impressed with, and I'm going to say this, man. I was so impressed with Coach White, Tony White, defense coordinator, just how he had those guys just locked in and dialed in. We're not done yet.
No.
Obviously, it doesn't hurt to have T-Bud Crawford there. And the thing that he said, he goes, diamond shine anywhere.
Yeah.
And getting those guys to understand, we're not done yet.
No. And
that's the thing I don't want Nebraska fans, even myself, you can't get comfortable with this, man.
No.
You can't get comfortable. So when I hear these talks of 7-0, et cetera, and I'm going to bring back to the defensive line. The defensive line, obviously, with Nash and Big Ty, those guys were disruptive. I mean, disruptive all week last week. Now you're facing a team, they run almost 70% of the time.
Woo!
Almost 7, and they're 108th ranked as far as passing the FCS. So you don't. I'm not saying you don't have to worry about it, but we know what they're going to do. Do you have any inclinations? What's up, my man? Good to see you guys. Good to see you. Do you have any worries about Nebraska? This guy, Andrews, I think is what Andrews or Edwards are their top running back.
Ty Edwards.
Ty Edwards is 6'4", 225, 230 pounds.
Derrick Henry size.
He's massive. He can run too. Do you have any concerns with a bowling ball type running back that we're going to face this evening?
Nebraska's linebackers aren't huge. John Bullock's not a big guy. Stephon Thompson, also not a huge guy, but he's played college football. They're the second level. With the defensive line, no. Ty Robinson, NFL-ready frame from the time he set foot on campus. Nash Hutmacher, same thing. What I'm interested to watch, AD, with Jamari Butler questionable, who gets the start? I presume if Jamari Butler is just playing rotationally and he's not the starter, it's going to be Cam Lenhart. And this is a guy that I think maybe the temptation would be,
absolutely.
Hey, I'm the 12th black shirt out of 11.
Yep.
I'm not a starter. So what am I going to do? I am trying to make big plays so that even when Jamari Butler comes back, I'm not giving up my starting job.
Right.
For a lot of young players in Cameron Lenhart's position, I would be worried about he's going to be out of position. He's going to try too hard to make a play and not be disciplined, right? He's going to want to pin his ears back, make the splash play. But think about what we heard about this coaching staff from Cam Lenhart last year, and even in the offseason. Mature beyond his years.
Yeah, he is.
Ready to contribute, good head on his shoulder.
IMG Academy. So
IMG gets him trained.
That cat, this kid, Cat kid.
Cat kid. Yeah.
He grew up from obviously in his high school and formative years in a very high intensity program. So he gets that. And he showed splashes of it last year as far as that goes.
So if it is Cam Lenhart starting, I'm not worried about him trying too hard to make an extra play. I think he'll be disciplined. I think he'll stay in his rush lane as he needs to. And when the play's there, I trust Cam Lenhart to make it because he's a good player.
Right.
But sometimes the play to make is your play, not the play.
Let me ask you this, man. I'm looking at this right. First of all, they have a lot of Nebraska natives. You look at UNI, their starting left guard, Blake Anderson, was at Omaha Scott Catholic. That played there. We won a Class B state title in 2018, 2019. Sam Thomas is a true freshman lineman, went to Elkhorn North. That's a Nebraska splash there as well. And redshirt linebacker Brogan Ling went to right here at Lincoln Southwest. He was a Silverhawk. He was right there. And we can't forget Kurt Warner.
Right.
Kurt Warner was
right.
a UNI guy. And I was talking to a few UNI people in there. And they're just like, dude, the atmosphere, the environment. They're like, man, this place is absolutely – because we've never played them before.
Right,
it's the first time we've ever played them. So it's a great environment. What's your score for tonight? What do you see? Oh, let me ask you this. Austin. Keys for the offense, 2 keys for the offense, 2 keys for the defense.
Well, I think that the keys are going to be the same for both. I know they're different sides of the ball, but just like Matt Rule said, it's take care of Nebraska.
Right.
Worry about us, right? Or go back to your Stan Parker line, right? Smell the perfume, but don't taste it.
Right.
Nebraska can't, I don't think, stop and smell the roses. Nebraska has to smell the roses on the walk by.
I like that.
Right? Because you can't keep looking back and relying on Colorado to get us through.
No, that game's done.
It's over with, but you also haven't played Illinois yet. You haven't started Illinois prep yet.
Yes.
So you got to keep walking. What's the next step on your path? Go do that. So for the offense, dominate in the trenches, right? You're a bigger offensive line than their defensive line. Find a way, whether it's running the ball, right? I think that's what a lot of people say. Keep it safe, be conservative, just be vanilla, run the ball. But Nebraska has difference makers at wide receiver.
They do.
You have to get Jamal Banks, Isaiah Nayor involved.
Banks, Nayor.
The more opportunities, the more reps Dylan Raiola has to read the field, the better.
And Austin, Ja'Cory Barney.
Oh, he's that dude.
Is
it his week to get in the end zone officially without a holding penalty this time?
So last week, Austin, we're there on the sideline. We were right. It was me, Tyrone Williams, Clinton Childs, and a number of other guys. But we were right on that end zone where Hill made that pick at.
Yeah.
And Tyrone looks at me. And, Tyrone could play corner today because he's so big.
Yeah.
6'2", long arms, quick, athletic, etc. And he goes, AD, that dude reminds me of me. Hey, that dude reminds me of me. So
if he would be such a good player.
Yeah. And I was talking about Barney because me and Tyrone, we keep in touch via text and everything like that. And I said, Tyrone, it's from Florida, is like,
Right.
Tyrone and obviously Tommy from Manatee as well. But Ja'Cory Barney is right there in Miami. Is he beyond? Did you watch the catch he snagged across the middle with one hand?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He is a special player. He reminds me of a Dana Brinson, a Tyrone Hughes, I'm gonna even Spielman, a JD Spielman type of guy, to where they can play. Even a Wandale Robinson. Obviously, we had him out of, and that's just
right.
We know we had him out of place when he was here, but he's a guy that's 17 years old that's beyond his years.
Yes. And the coaching staff told you as much coming in, right? They love those guys from Miami. It's Ja'Cory Barney, it's Amari Sanders, and Vincent Shavers.
Yep.
Right. All three of those guys were on the two deep to start the year.
And also the linebacker number 17 is McGahee.
McGahee, that's right.
He came in late and had some mop-up work and caused
against
some
the 5-star left tackle.
Caused some disruption and got that fumble.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He's the one that actually caused that fumble.
Yeah.
True freshman out of Miami as well.
Right. The coaching staff loves their guys from Miami, right? They have been so high on them all offseason, then into the season here. I was aboard the Ja'Cory Barney train to start the season. And here's the funny thing, AD. We probably wouldn't be seeing this much of Ja'Cory Barney if Demetrius Bell hadn't gotten hurt. Think about how high the coaching staff was on Demetrius Bell out of Nashville. He hurts his knee. Ja'Cory Barney steps up. And you can tell how much the coaching staff likes him because when they need a big play, they go to him, whether it's a jet sweep, a toss sweep, get him on a crosser over the middle of the field. They went to Nayor for the first big play touchdown against UTEP. They went to Banks to end the half. But when Nebraska needed a spark last week, they went to Ja'Cory Barney.
They did.
Called back by a holding penalty. But we've seen that a couple times. When the offense gets bogged down, they'll send guys deep. They'll clear out the middle for Ja'Cory Barney and make him try to get a guy miss. And that tells me they know that he's ahead of his years.
Barney has a tremendous amount of God-given ability, man. And I would say his maturity, his football IQ, but he's just one of those guys that sticks his head in there. He's not afraid, man. And you don't see that a lot in college sports to where a guy is not afraid, especially as a freshman.
It's 6 foot, 180, 190.
He might
got
be
popped last week, got right up and smiled
he got
about
popped.
it.
He might be 185, maybe soaking wet as far as that goes. But for him to come in a game and do what he did was awfully impressed. I'm glad you brought up Bell because I totally forgot about Bell. I mean, forgot, but not forgot. But I was like, yes, because he got hurt in the spring game. If he's there and we still have him back. We still have him back. So this team, now I'm going to segue to this part. What do you think about the recruiting aspect of things?
Oh, man. AD, I wasn't in the stadium last week. What was the buzz for you? What was it like?
Oh, my goodness. Austin, last week in the stadium, I'm trying to compare it to a game in the past, me being 50 and you being, what are you, 30?
Just turned 26.
Oh, my goodness. Dude, you are
sorry, AD.
Naya!
Hey, you know her.
Yeah, that's my daughter. You are the only time I can remember that was like that, and it's just me. So other people might have other examples. 1992. What's up, y'all? GBR, baby. GBR. The only time I can remember it was similar to that was in 1992 when we played against Colorado. Tommy Frazier, freshman quarterback, and Halloween.
Yeah.
Calvin Jones takes one to the house. But my freshman year was amazing there. But then we lost to Iowa State. I'm sorry, not Iowa. We lost to Iowa State a few weeks later. So that's why I like what Coach Rule is telling these guys. GBR, brother, he's telling these guys one game at a time. You cannot think too much forward. Just take care of the night. But that stadium last week, Austin, the ambiance, the energy, the fans, I hadn't seen that in a long time, man.
You get the commit from Christian Jones.
Oh, that was huge.
That paid dividends.
That was huge.
And
that
an
was
environment like that probably won't be replicated tonight, but there's no reason for it not to be, right?
Exactly.
I mean, it's a rivalry game. It's Colorado. But this has been my sticking point with Nebraska fans for a while. Love them dearly. I'm one of them. I count myself among them. You can't just get up for the big games, right?
Absolutely.
This is the biggest stadium that Northern Iowa is going to play in all year. Most of these kids in their lives.
This is their bowl game.
So you can be nice. You can be welcoming, but you can also make them never want to come back here again.
You better believe
you can make them not be able to hear. You can, their thoughts rattling around in their head, right? They should hear you. For 60 minutes of football.
Be loud, y'all. Be loud. Be loud.
Pump it up.
I'm talking to you two, number 1 and number 7. I'm talking to y'all. There you go.
1 and 7. 1 and 7. Is that Wandale and Crouch? What we going?
There we go. We going.
They look different on TV.
We're going Lawrence Phillips and Reggie Ball, number 1 and number 7.
That's killer. But yes, I think that the recruiting aspect of tonight won't be nearly as noticeable as it was last week.
Absolutely.
And then I'm curious to see the conversation for next week because AD, I think we're taking a couple weeks off here of recruiting. Not off, you're never taking it off.
Right.
But I think the next big opportunity is going to be Rutgers.
Yeah,
on a Friday night game for Nebraska next week, an FCS foe tonight, then the first road game at Purdue.
Right.
It's going to be hard to build off the buzz for Colorado, which is why I think it was so important for Nebraska to capitalize like it seemed like they did last weekend.
You know what, Austin? Tonight, I'm going to be interested to see how Nebraska comes out.
Yes.
Because it's not going to be the same energy. It's not going to be. Let's just be honest. It's not going to be the same energy because it's not Colorado. All the hype that comes along with that. It's going to be you and I. But you know what? Good teams, doesn't matter who you're playing. They come out with that same type of mentality. And I'm sorry to go back in the days, but that's how it was. Coach Osborne had us with the same philosophy that it doesn't matter who you're playing, punch them in the mouth early and often to the point to where physicality, they don't want to play football anymore.
Right.
And that's what I want Nebraska to do tonight. And that's how they're going to have to learn to win, learn to put teams away because it's you and I. But here's reality. You and I doesn't care what Nebraska did against Colorado last week. No, they don't care. This is their game, and they're going to come out full force. Nebraska has to match that. And I won't even say this, surpass that energy and just impose their will.
You have to, I think, shoot for surpassing the energy to get back to the baseline of where you need
and you
to
bring
be.
your own.
You have to.
You bring your own energy. And granted, if there was 20,000 people there, whether it's 85,000, good teams always, and I'm going to say this, great and good and great teams always bring their own energy. Doesn't matter what the crowd is doing, who you're playing, because at the end of the day, that's an opponent. I'm going to take them out. That's the philosophy, the mindset that they have to have in their heads. And I want to see that. So honestly, when I said earlier this week, I'm not concerned, but I'm alert.
That, right? You got to be up for it.
I'm very alert.
Going to shout out Keith Mann for these notes here. The last 5 times Nebraska's played an FCS team, South Dakota State, you win by 40 points, 59-20. Right. But you have a guy go for 200 on 30 carries on you. Can't allow that tonight. McNeese State and the Miracle.
Right.
That was a pretty highly ranked FCS team.
And I'll tell you right now, Austin, if Amir's doesn't have that run against them,
you're hoping for a long shot field goal.
You dang right. You're dang right.
There's that. Then the first one of the Scott Frost here against Bethune-Cookman, 45-9, Fordham 52-7. But then just 2 years ago, North Dakota comes here. Not North Dakota State.
North Dakota.
Hawks of North Dakota.
And gave us fits.
Everything Nebraska wanted for approximately 3 quarters.
They
Nebraska
brought the
put it
smoke.
away in the 4th.
They brought the smoke.
So if any program should know not to take an FCS opponent lightly, I would hope it's this one.
Austin, I'm going to say this, man. How much time we got?
We should probably get out of here.
Okay,
later.
I'm going to say this real quick. In that Chasing 3 documentary, Coach Rule said so many different things. And I was talking to a few of my coaching buddies around the country. They said, AD, he gets it. Whether that means what happens, I don't know. But there is something in the water at Memorial Stadium right now to where those players have bought in. Because you think about this, Austin, there is a number of guys from the past 6 years who left the University of Nebraska, something at 50 years old I thought was unfathomable for them to leave with losing seasons. Yeah. These guys have bought in. They see something, and they're playing like it. Now, it's 2 games in.
Right.
We shall see tonight against you and I, though.
Hopefully after tonight, Nebraska's halfway to bowl eligibility.
Yep.
But hopefully no less than a third of the way to their win total.
We remember last year we had 4 games to get bowl eligibility, and we didn't do it.
Yeah.
However, that's last year. That's a new year, new team, new dynamic, new mindset. And I think what they're doing, bro, it's hard to bet against them, man. Yeah. I love what I'm seeing, and I try to keep myself contained too, though, because I've seen, but I like what Coach Rule and his staff is doing. Keith, man, thank you so much for those stats as well. But also, I like what I'm seeing, brother.
For sure. Any final thoughts before we get
what's
to
your score?
I got 52-9 Big Red.
52-9. I'm going to say 46-10 Nebraska.
I like it.
Let's do it.
Skurs big. He's AD. I'm AO. We will get out of here. This segment has been brought to you by the Kindler Hotel, where we are at for one more segment. Former Husker tight end Chancellor Brewington joins me next from the Kindler patio.
All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today.
I'm ready.
Burgers?
Check.
Chips?
Check.
Icy cold beer?
Check. Except this one.
I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread?
I can't stop eating it.
Rico!
Relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today in most local grocery stores. Follow the Huskers to the City of Angels when Nebraska plays at USC in November. Book your official Nebraska alumni travel package at HuskerFanTravel.com. Choose from 2 or 3 night options that include a downtown LA hotel, exclusive welcome event, game day transportation, and the official Husker Huddle pregame party. Add on game tickets for an optional upgrade. Transportation to and from LA not included. Join the official Nebraska alumni trip to see the Huskers play at USC. Spots are limited, so book your trip now at huskerfantravel.com.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Hey, bestie. Whoa, how'd you snag that awesome set of wheels? I'm in the market for a new car, too.
My friends at Members Own Credit Union. You're always in the driver's seat when it comes to your finances at Members Own.
Always in the driver's seat, huh?
Yep. They set you up with a loan that makes sense for your budget with great rates and top-notch customer service to boot.
Looks like we're going to need to make a pit stop.
Let's go. I'll drive. Hit the road to financial success and explore auto loan options with your best financial friend, Members Own Credit Union. For details, go to membersowncu.org/drive. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman Postgame Show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran, for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman Postgame Show, sponsored by Anderson Ford, Tanner's Bar and Grill, Tavern 180, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Vinnie Kreekak of State Farm Insurance, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com, serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116. The Kindler Hotel in downtown Lincoln is a boutique hotel experience unlike any other in the area. Their 45 well-appointed rooms take inspiration from the history of Lincoln. Their double queen rooms are great for guests traveling with family, and the suites are great for a business trip or romantic getaway. No trip to the Kindler is complete without a handcrafted cocktail from Boitano's Lounge on the main floor, with comfortable seating options both inside and on the outside patio. Book your room today at thekindlerhotel.com in Lincoln at 11th and P.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals in everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
This is Chris Elgert, loan originator at Lincoln Federal. With over 20 years in the industry, I have found it's extremely gratifying to solve my customers' home financing needs and then show them the options and strategies available for them to fulfill their goals. But my biggest reward comes when I watch my valued customers experience the American dream of home ownership and move into their new home. Talk with me about your home loan at Lincoln Federal and Go Big Red. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Personal banking like you remember.
Back to the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Raising Cane's.
We are live here at the patio of the Kindler Hotel on 11th Street between Q and P. Austin Orman on the left of the screen, Chancellor Brewington on the right. Chancellor, what's up, my man?
Man, it's game day. I mean, no better day out of the week than Saturday. I love it.
Ain't that the truth? This segment brought to you by Raising Cane's. Order like a champ with the Raising Cane's mobile app or online at raisingcanes.com. You'll be able to feed the whole team this football season with cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and, of course, the reigning MVP, that signature Cane's sauce. Game days are better with Cane's. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love. What's your favorite post-game meal?
Post-game, oh, my goodness. Kind of get a little crazy post-game. I like Wingstop.
Ooh.
Hey,
what's the go-to?
I like Wingstop lemon pepper wings with some fries. That's about it.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. The Wingstop probably would have tasted the sweetest it ever had you been in the environment last week for Colorado, the 28-10 win over the Huskers. But that's last week, Chancellor. This week is Northern Iowa. How is Nebraska able to take the energy, the momentum from last week and use it this week without, living in the past and saying we beat Colorado, we're good?
Yeah, there's a fine line because you want the energy transfer. That's what I call it. The energy transfer from obviously a big week against a big win against Colorado. And one thing Rule said, he said it was one of the best weeks of preparation. So my mind is that the guys were focused. Leadership was on point, meaning the leaders on the team were focused enough to make sure the younger guys, freshmen like a Dylan, younger guys that are playing, making sure that they were looking ahead and not even looking ahead, focusing on what's in front of them right now. I call a game like this a trap game. This is a trap game. We've seen it across the board. You just look at college football year in, year out. There's always a team always goes and beats a big school, and then the next week, we look at Notre Dame, right?
Yeah.
You go and beat A&M. Next week, Northern Illinois comes in. They fumble the bag. So my whole thing is making sure they come out poised. They come out poised and just execute. At the end of the day, just execute. If you execute just like you did against Colorado, obviously we got to pick up on the offensive side. If we execute, we'll be all right.
One noticeable absence on the offensive side, right guard Micah Mazuka listed as out for today's game, most likely going to be replaced by either Henry Lutovsky or Tyler Kanak. When you look at the offense for Nebraska, what did it do well last week? Where do you want to see them maybe clean some things up for this week against Northern Iowa?
Yeah, I would say just identifying who has the hot hand going into the second quarter. I felt like Dowdale, we kind of went away from him after that first and second drive. I would like just a consistency and forming an identity. Rule said this, Dylan's playing at a high level and the offense needs to raise to his level. And what I interpret from that is that there needs to be a level of execution 1 through 11. So it can't just be Dylan executing on a play. It has to be the whole line executing, has to be the running backs, tight ends, and receivers. So I think a big part of this is going to be receivers in the run game because we want to run the football. That's the identity of Nebraska of old. Obviously, Dylan has an arm, so we're going to use that. I expect there to be a true 50-50 split, run to pass, and I expect the offense, the offensive line to dominate the line of scrimmage. UNI has a very, very light D-line, very light, very light. I mean, their D tackle is like 250, right? We should be able to blow them back and get a few yards. I want to see the receivers get open. I expect a lot more man coverage than people think by UNI's defense. I want them to get open, separate, and be aggressive in the run game.
So AD asked me this question, and I'll ask you, through your eyes, has Dylan Raiola been tested yet this year? I mean, you look at the scoreboard, it's 68-17 Nebraska through 2 games, but he is still a freshman playing in his first couple games in college. Has Dylan Raiola been tested, however you view that, through 2 games?
Yeah, so that's a good question. Has Dylan Raiola been tested? I think Colorado, there was some moments. I think the test in Colorado was, how are you going to come out? Are you going to let the environment get the best of you, or are you going to execute like he did? So I think he's been playing efficient football. I mean, you look at the numbers, you look at the completion percentage, you look at the QBR, you look at the no interceptions, not turn the ball over, no procedural things. I mean, we left a little bit time on the clock in the 2-minute drill. That's about it. I mean, other than that, he hasn't forced any throws. The only throw he's forced ended up being a touchdown, right, to Ramir Johnson. So I believe it's going to be I think he's playing good football, and I think possibly the first real test will be next week against Illinois. I think they have they're going to have the best defense we face, of course. So I think getting into Big Ten play will really see the composure and really the elite level of mental fortitude of Dylan Raiola.
In Big Ten play on a short week. It'll be a Friday night game next week for Nebraska. We'll talk about that when we get there. But you mentioned that Nebraska wants to run the ball. So does Northern Iowa. We talk about run-pass balance. Northern Iowa says, nope, screw that. We're not doing that. They have run on 2/3 of their plays, a 67-33 run-pass ratio, including sacks last week against Colorado, 22 carries for 16 total yards. Nebraska hasn't faced a team committed to the run like Northern Iowa. They haven't faced running backs as big as Northern Iowa's. Where does stopping the run start for this Nebraska defense?
Yeah, so if you look back on who they played, I mean, I think it was Northern Minnesota or New Minnesota, something like that in Valpo. I mean, defensive-wise, not very strong up front, right? So I think, Nebraska's defense is known for stopping the run the last year and this year. So one thing they pride themselves in is they're not going to let you run the football. So the matchup there is awesome. I love it. It's gonna pull. I think it's gonna put pressure on Nebraska to really hone in on run gaps, run fits, and all these things. And especially on the back end when they throw the ball, I think guys are going to get home, just like, Jamari Butler's questionable. I'm sure we'll talk about that and stuff like that. But some of these younger guys, Cam Lindenhart, I'm expecting him to have a really good game. Prince Will, I'm expecting him to have good. Elijah Judy, all these Van Poppel, all these younger guys who are going to get a lot of more reps. I expect those guys, especially in the run game, but also in the pass game, to get home.
Cam Lindenhart, I suppose if Jamari Butler is out as the presumed starter, given that he was the 12th black shirt that was given. Worried about Cam Lindenhart, right? He's been a good player through a year and a couple games at Nebraska. The guys that I'd be interested to see, Riley Van Poppel, how many more snaps does he get? How does he stand up against the run specifically? And then I think of the 2 pass rush specialists, James Williams and then Kai Wallen.
Yeah.
Chancellor, you like to have a role on team, right? Carve it out, play your role to the best of your ability. But the best way to earn more snaps is to be versatile.
Yeah.
James Williams and Kai Wallen, I'm curious to see just how many snaps they get. And if they're able to actually stand up against the run, stay disciplined, stay in their lanes, or if they truly are just rotational, situational pass rushers.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think James Williams and Kai Wallen, this will be a great test for them because, I mean, you go to a team like Colorado where James Williams is going to get a bunch of reps. Why? Because it's obvious pass down situations. They like to throw first down, second down, third down, second and 2, they're throwing the ball. Colorado is, of course. So when you go against UNI, when you get in these packages, it's either you're not going to get in these packages where you have James Williams on the field, but if you have James Williams on the field, he's going to be expected to stop the run. And Jamari Butler touched on this in a press conference. He was talking about putting the weight on, and now he's able to be on the field, third and short, second and short. Goal line stuff. He's able to be on the field because of the weight. So it's going to be interesting to see if Coach Knighton allows these guys to be on the field to test them and to pull some things out of them, or just have them out the field and put guys in that, have proven themselves to stop the run.
Stopping the run is the key for obvious reason, given what we know about Northern Iowa. But I do think it's just as important for the defensive backs to have a good day, because I think of a team like Purdue from 2 years ago. They're going to throw the ball, no
Right.
run game, averaging less than 4 yards per carry. Well, here comes Devin Mockabee, crazy legs, crazy running style and all, goes for a career high. And then Nebraska was like, well, what do we do?
Right.
If they're able to actually run the ball now, right? That's why I think the defensive backs have to send that message early. If Northern Iowa tests you, pick it off, send a message, say, no, that's not what you do. We're not going to allow you to hit a big play on us early. We're not going to have to allocate safety help. We're going to be able to keep playing 7-8 guys in the box.
Yeah, these DBs I think they're going to get tested. I mean, UNI is not going to come in here. You know, I believe they're well coached, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think they're going to come in here and expect to just roll over on their back, you know. I think they're going to expect, you know, to put their shoot all their guns, right? Shoot everything, unload the clip. And so what I mean by that is, you know, I expect some special plays. I expect some double pass. I expect, you know, you can't run the football to get 50 yards every time, right? So when they get in between the 40s, you know, if they get there, of course, they get in between the 40s, I expect some shots. I expect them to take some shots on the outside. You know, I don't know if they pull up the film and see, oh, Malcolm Harzog got beat on this. Let's try him. Or, you know, we're going to try Marquise Buford. He got beat, you know, like that. When you pull up the film, I mean, there's quote unquote holes, but this is the type of games where you go back on the film this week, you watch it, you practice it, you perfect it. And now you know what the offense, you know what UNI is going to try to throw at you. You know the quote unquote weaknesses that an opposing offense sees in your defense.
This is the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. We're live here at the Kindler Hotel. I like that you mentioned that, the walkthrough. This is your opportunity. This is your tune-up. But, Chancellor, this is the biggest game Northern Iowa will play, right? 85,000 fans in front of it. And this is a ranked Nebraska team, 23rd in the AP, 24th in the coaches poll. How, as a team, how, as a coaching staff, do you prepare yourself for an opponent that you know you're physically better than? But how do you prepare yourself to match their energy and their desperation, their sense of urgency?
Yeah, I think it starts throughout the week. And I'm touched on it. Rule said it's a great week of preparation. I truly believe that's where it starts. It starts in preparation. It starts in how you approach the week. Do you approach the week, okay, clean slate, 0-0, or are you approaching the week, I'm 2-0, you know, 23 on this list, 24 on this list, you know, top 25 in the country. You know, that's what can beat you. That's what can beat you. So the only thing that can beat Nebraska today is Nebraska. So it's going to be interesting to see how the guys come out. You can tell. We've seen this in the past 2 games. You can tell the first drive on offense how this team has prepared. You can tell, because I believe the defense has a standard in itself. The offense needs to rise to the defense standard, right? I think this is the game to do it and to go into Big Ten play and to set the standard and set a national. Everyone's getting, you know, Nebraska getting national attention. You know, Nebraska's back. Nebraska's this. Go Blue! Y'all threw 3 picks today.
How about now?
Yeah, but I believe that, you know, Dylan Raiola, you know, is playing at a high level, and I think the offense is going to take a massive jump.
Who's RB1 for you tonight?
Dante Dale, and I think we're probably going to. I think Rule said something interesting. He said we're only going to do a 3-back rotation, right?
Yeah,
I think that was a ploy. I think he was setting something up. I think he was setting something up. I know he likes to put Gabe in I formation, whatever, but Coach was a smart guy. So I think he's putting pressure on that running back room for more competition, but to elevate their play.
I like that. We will definitely monitor that throughout the game. We are just about 45 minutes away from kickoff between the Huskers and the Panthers at Memorial Stadium. Don't forget, this segment of pregame coverage was brought to you by Raising Cane's. Game days are better with Cane's. You can order today on their mobile app or online at raisingcanes.com. For former Husker Chancellor Brewington, I'm Austin Norman. That'll do it for us here from the Kindler Hotel, but don't go anywhere. We will take you all the way up till kickoff here on 93.7 The Ticket. Bach and Harrison back in the studio. Rico should be showing up at some point as well. We'll take a quick break. It's back with the guys in the studio after this.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a champ, it's action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. Touchdown! This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman Postgame Show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran, for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman Postgame Show, sponsored by Anderson Ford, Tanner's Bar and Grill, Tavern 180, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Vinnie Kreekak of State Farm Insurance, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Mindel Footwear is your solution against sore feet, blisters, and poor footing. Don't just take our word for it. Take it from Sip, who said he's never had a pair of boots more comfortable. You won't find Mindel Footwear in any store, sold exclusively at MindelUSA.com right out of Sidney, Nebraska. They're so confident you will enjoy the comfort their boots offer. If they don't work out for you, they'll cover the shipping to return them. Use code THETICKET for free shipping because your feet deserve a treat too. Mindel boots, just try them on.
Lincoln Federal Savings Bank, personal banking like you remember.
Home. It's more than a place, it's a feeling. This is Eric Bertrand with Lincoln Federal Savings Bank. If you're looking for a place to call home, call me. Let's review your financing options and get you into the home of your dreams. Proudly serving Husker fans.
Personal banking like you remember.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
It's time for a home technology makeover. And with special Labor Day savings on top name electronics, you can take your home, backyard, or tailgate to an all-new level. Choose from top name TVs like Sony, LG, and Samsung, including Samsung's popular frame TV that blends seamlessly into your decor. Experience game day throughout your entire home with a new audio system from Sonos, now with special Labor Day bundle savings. Transform your game day this Labor Day with the experts at Schaefer's.
Wall-to-Wall Wine & Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall-to-Wall Wine & Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The Kindler Hotel in downtown Lincoln is a boutique hotel experience unlike any other in the area. Their 45 well-appointed rooms take inspiration from the history of Lincoln. Their double queen rooms are great for guests traveling with family, and the suites are great for a business trip or romantic getaway. No trip to the Kindler is complete without a handcrafted cocktail from Boitano's Lounge on the main floor, with comfortable seating options both inside and on the outside patio. Book your room today at thekindlerhotel.com in Lincoln at 11th and P. General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
Back to the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Perch Merch.
All right, welcome back into the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show. This segment sponsored by Perch Merch. Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in and around Lincoln. Screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, and more. Go to perchmerch.com. All right, Bach, we got just about a little less than 15 minutes on this segment here. Heading into UNI, it's pretty clear that UNI likes to run the ball, but let's be a little bit more specific than that. What are you thinking heading into this game? What we might see out of University of Northern Iowa, how they're going to try to attack this Nebraska defense?
Yeah, well, I'll say this for them. They at least have 4 300-pounders on their offensive line, and including one of those being Jared Penning, who's a brother of a first-round pick, Trevor Penning, who's with the Saints now from a few years ago, and he's one they're going to look out for. So Nebraska, we're going to see, Jamari Butler listed as questionable. Cam Linhart, the 12th black shirt, if he steps in there, which you expect him to, they're going to get tested, and tested to a degree, right? I mean, that's going to be Northern Iowa's best chance at this thing. We'll see if they spread it out. They list 3. They're kind of a air raid pass attack offense that runs the ball quite a bit at this point. So a little bit of a seemingly identity crisis, a little bit there. They list 3 wide receivers out as their starters. So that makes you think they're what their base offense is, and they got some big running backs. So I suppose their hope and any chance they had is to shorten the game, is to get the ground game going for themselves, and rely on their defense to just do enough to kind of keep this into it. Now, obviously, everybody's picking Nebraska, 32.5-point favorite for a reason. So, maybe it doesn't take a genius to figure this out, but they're going to be definitely have a chance in this game if it's 24-16 or, kind of keeping it like what we saw with the Iowa State score last week. Nebraska offensively hasn't necessarily blown up. I think there's a lot more to, even after what we want to see as a program changing win. The offense was pretty darn, only scored 21 points, take away the 7 from the pick 6. Obviously was very fortunate on the 1 touchdown pass that you did get there, through Colorado defenders' hands into Ramirez. And they had some plays called back. So, I mean, there's a lot to kind of see for Nebraska's offense. But yeah, I mean, if I'm Northern Iowa, you have to just accept it. You don't have the athletes, you don't have the depth. So you're going to try to shorten the game as much as you can.
Yeah, I'm in the same mindset. Like, you're going to see some things from UNI. I'd imagine they're going to try really hard to get outside and run the ball, because you talked about their running back, Ty Edwards. He's a big guy. You look at how many yards he's picking up, and obviously, yes, they're playing lesser opponents, but he's 6'4", and he's a big, strong 6'4". So if you catch him on the outside, like, he is big enough to where, yeah, if he's matched up against a corner, or if there's a safety trying to come downhill and tackle him, like, there's a good chance he's able to win a lot of those one-on-ones on the outside. For me, it's, just get 11 hats on the ball. Wherever that running back's coming from, that's what they're going to try to do. And if you do a really good job on your pursuit angles, you gang tackle, like, they're big, they're going to be able to break some runs. But I'm confident that Nebraska's ability to flow to the ball, which in these first 2 games has looked really good, outside of maybe a few plays in that first game. But again, with the opponent, you felt pretty good about it. I think it's a good chance for Nebraska's defense just continue to be dominant. Now, is it asking too much for thinking, you keep him 10 points or under?
No, I think that's the expectation. I mean, you have 8.5 points coming into the game, and really look at when you break it down. Sometimes these stats you can play with, it makes it sound worse than it is.
Yeah.
But Malcolm Hartzog, if you take him out of the equation, you're giving up 1.5 points per game because he's given up the only 2 touchdowns. So I'm especially going to be looking at him. Again, that's not a stat that necessarily tells you the whole story. He's been a good player outside of that, making a couple tackles, kind of flying around the ball. But so that challenge is for him specifically is don't be the one to give it up tonight, because then that statistic does start to add up. But no, Nebraska, there's no reason that they shouldn't be able to shut this down. Like you said, there's a potential for a few big runs. Nebraska has talked about being number one of the best defenses in the nation. They want to shoot higher. One of the best rush defenses last year. So they've got everything here in front of them to hold them under 10 points and make that statement. These are the type of games where you give up 18, 21 points, and that's really going to hurt your season overall as far as you go back and look at those statistics. So it's kind of funny. There's not much room for error for them, but there shouldn't be much room for error. This is not a top 25 FCS opponent. Nebraska, for the first time in years, it's glorious. I love it. I see a little number next to Nebraska's name. I know some people are shoo-shooing that away, say let's make them earn it. I'm just basking in it because I haven't seen it in so long, and it's a relief. But it's the first day to protect that, and I know they want to get moved much higher than 23, but there's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears not just fans have had, but certainly on the field to get this program back to that position. You don't want to start to let it slip. Obviously, Illinois coming back on a short week. This is one that everybody wants to see as a dominant game, and if it's in any way close, then we're right back to where I was last year with Michigan State. That's the only thing I had about this game, is because I think that Nebraska's. everything says blowout.
Yep.
But the only thing is, like, when's the last time I trusted Nebraska to get done with what I thought the team was good enough, made enough improvement to get done what needed to be done. And that was last year at Michigan State when their coach hadn't won a game. They were just in the doldrums, and Nebraska gave it up. Obviously, that was their first chance of 4 to make it to a bowl game and cross that line. So again, there's a lot of work, and it's the same thing. Herb Street's talking about 7-0. He's on board. Everybody's talking about 7-0. There's a lot of work that needs to be done before then, despite that new flashy number next to your name, to prove that you earned that number.
Yeah, it's crazy. What was it, 2019 the last time?
Yeah.
Nebraska, so
the height of the Scott Frost era. Yeah.
Height of the Scott Frost.
It was.
Sitting around
halftime.
for 5 years without a ranking. And you just look at the years past. It's like you don't want to overlook this team because we've just been burned bad. You can just go name the teams. Troy, Georgia Southern, trying to think of some other ones we lost.
Even North Dakota was pushing you, an FCS team.
Yeah, not NDSU, but North Dakota.
Yeah.
So, and we've had quite a few teams come in here, and those teams, you give them a sliver of hope, they stop playing scared, and then all of a sudden it kind of becomes a mind game. You saw that last week with Notre Dame, with Northern Illinois. Now Northern Illinois better than what people expected, but still talent-wise, Notre Dame should have won that game. And then it looks like Notre Dame took the note as they're up 66 on 7 over Purdue right now, just blowing Purdue out of the water. Wisconsin got blown out today as well. There's been a few Big Ten teams that have just been really surprising. And it's weird. You look at some of these teams and it's like, all right, Nebraska, like look around, look at the landscape around you. Yes, you got some other teams in Oregon, in USC. I think USC looks better than people expected as well. But you're seeing a lot of these teams kind of start slipping a little bit. And now Nebraska's got an easy schedule. And even that Wisconsin game, it might feel even better about now looking at how, again, Alabama, but they just got absolutely dismantled by them. So I think if you're Nebraska, you just can't be satisfied with that number. Like, there's teams, programs around you that are actually starting to struggle, like we have in the past, maybe floundering a little bit for a culture. And if you're Nebraska football, don't get caught up in the number. And I do think this defense, just based on how it's been playing, how it just continued right off of what it was last year, I think they'll have a phenomenal game. We saw what it looked like against Colorado when we'll just call it what it is. They had to focus on one asset of the defense, which is let's stop the pass, keep them in front, nothing over the top. The rushing game, we knew it wasn't going to be anything coming into it. This is kind of just the polar opposite. Now you got a team that wants to run the ball and just run it down your throat and is very hesitant to throw the ball at all. Even if it's a 3rd and long, they might try to fool you with QB draw because they just don't really trust their arm talent. I'm with that defense. I might call for the first shutout. I think this is a game where it's a real possibility. I know the spread last time I checked was 30.5. You feel pretty good about that number?
I do, because I do think, it's going to be hard for them to get to 10. And I think Nebraska, you're going to be, I think you'd be disappointed with anything less than 40. So, you kind of work that math out, because I want to see, there's so much, it's fun to see. I think this is fun to see kind of what they were hiding for Colorado. We kind of got more of a bland game plan, no blitzing, hiding certain features on offense against UTEP. I want to see now, now we're not hiding anything. What does the offense look like when we are involving Barney, when we do know where our running backs are, when we maybe, and I don't know how much they'll blitz. I don't think they'll show a whole lot more today.
No, I think it's going to be another game
on that
where
side of the ball,
the defense gets the, just real quick, not to cut you off, but it's like, we're rushed 3 or 4. I think we, I don't know how many blitzes we dialed up, if at all. I haven't seen the exact numbers on it, but it wasn't a lot, very small margin. And they've just been able to get pressure every time.
Yeah.
Like it's been remarkable to watch this group just continue where they were off last year.
Yeah. And you can just, they can throw waves. And how great is that? Nebraska's defensive line, since joining the Big Ten, there was those early years with Malik Collins and Valentine and Randy Gregory and Avery Moss, all that. And then, and credit to Bo Pelini, by the way, he put together some really good defensive lines. And since he's left, it's just been hard to get top end talent or really a whole lot of talent on those lines, but especially depth. And now they've got waves of them. The backups I feel like at Nebraska right now, you feel pretty darn good about starting it, in a lot of Big Ten games. So that's what's exciting to see, is this defense grow. But I love a defensive game. I love a defensive program. I love the black shirts, all that. It's great. But there's been some limitations to some of our great defenses over the years. And with Dylan Raiola, it just feels like you've got an opportunity, because he's got that arm. And that's going to open up a lot for your offense. I want to see, Ja'Cory Barney, now that they're going to be able to show a little bit more of him. I want to see more plays downfield. A lot of their passing was kind of line of scrimmage, short dink and dunk for Dylan. He's got an arm. I want to see it kind of worked on before developing. This is your last non-con game before you hit Big Ten play, after all. So they want to kind of be in mid-season form a few games early.
Yeah, it's been just incredibly exciting to watch throughout all of this. And like you said, we still haven't seen that moment where we watch Dylan Raiola and be like, okay, there's the freshman QB kind of showing his colors. You could argue that Ramir Johnson passed, but it worked out in so well in Nebraska's favor that you're more happy it happened. But yeah, we're still seeing Dylan Raiola just play clean enough. He's not being asked to, hey, Dylan Raiola, you're the offense, go score us some points. Like, the running game's been great. The offensive line, which, real quick thoughts, we got to go to break here. Give me your predictions, and with Miss Kua, that right guard being out of the lineup as well.
Yeah, that's obviously not what you want, but you can work some depth in there. I know they've, I don't know, we'll see who they roll out there. Tyler Knack is listed as the backup at that certain position, but they should be able to keep rolling. This is, while I said Northern Iowa has a big offensive line, they do not have a big defensive line. So this offense should maul, and I want to see a little bit more big playability. The ones we did see last week got called back, but within the running game specifically, Dowdell, Johnson, these guys should be able to break it today. Don't have a whole lot of big runs early on, but they should be able to maul quite a bit, and that should open up, some play action stuff as well. So a lot of it adds up to a lot of scoring for tonight for Nebraska. So I do think, a 48-6 type of victory, I'd be very happy with.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with 48-3. I think Nebraska's going to do well to get the lead. But again, I think both teams' bread and butter is to run the ball, especially if Nebraska's leading. And UNI, if it gets bad enough, they're going to want to run the ball as well. So I think the clock will run out. But I definitely got a big Nebraska win as well, them covering the spread. All right, don't go anywhere. We've got 2 more segments of the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Again, this segment was sponsored by Perch Merch. Go to perchmerch.com for all your printing needs. Up next, you got Enrique and Jake Bachman to hang around for another one right here on the Ticket Tailgate pregame show.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want, because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day, because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Follow the Huskers to the City of Angels when Nebraska plays at USC in November. Book your official Nebraska alumni travel package at huskerfantravel.com. Choose from 2 or 3 night options that include a downtown LA hotel, exclusive welcome event, game day transportation, and the official Husker Huddle pregame party. Add on game tickets for an optional upgrade. Transportation to and from LA not included. Join the official Nebraska alumni trip to see the Huskers play at USC. Spots are limited, so book your trip now at huskerfantravel.com.
It's time for a home technology makeover. And with special Labor Day savings on top name electronics, you can take your home, backyard, or tailgate to an all-new level. Choose from top name TVs like Sony, LG, and Samsung, including Samsung's popular frame TV that blends seamlessly into your decor. Experience game day throughout your entire home with a new audio system from Sonos, now with special Labor Day bundle savings. Transform your game day this Labor Day with the experts at Schaefer's.
Landmark Implement helps you put dirt in its place with increased accuracy and greater speed thanks to the John Deere Smart Grade. This fully integrated 3D grade control system boosts job site productivity and reduces labor costs with fewer passes and less wasted material, meaning more bids won and higher margins. No masts, no cables, just clear views of the job site. Visit your local Landmark Implement today and discover the profit-boosting power of the Smart Grade and experience the Landmark difference.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman Postgame Show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman Postgame Show, sponsored by Anderson Ford, Tanner's Bar and Grill, Tavern 180, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Vinnie Krekak of State Farm Insurance, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The Kindler Hotel in downtown Lincoln is a boutique hotel experience unlike any other in the area. Their 45 well-appointed rooms take inspiration from the history of Lincoln. Their double queen rooms are great for guests traveling with family, and the suites are great for a business trip or romantic getaway. No trip to the Kindler is complete without a handcrafted cocktail from Boitano's Lounge on the main floor, with comfortable seating options both inside and on the outside patio. Book your room today at thekindlerhotel.com in Lincoln at 11th and P.
Attention students and anyone else looking for a great deal. Sun Valley Lanes and Games has the ultimate weeknight special. For just $15.95, enjoy unlimited bowling, lucky putt mini golf, and laser tag. Flash your college ID at check-in to receive $2 off your admission. It's the perfect way to unwind Sunday through Thursday nights. Check out sunvalleylanes.com for hours and availability. Sun Valley Lanes and Games, located at 321 Victory Lane.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete. Sun Valley.
Wall-to-Wall Wine & Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting book. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Back to the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Select Plumbing.
Welcome in to the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show. Yes. Rico joined by Jake Bakoven here in the 93.7 The Ticket Studios. I'm shorter than Harrison, so if you're watching on the Start Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo Channel 961, you see like the top of my head. But it's okay. I will fix it here in 1 second after I get this read in, because this segment right here is brought to you by Select Plumbing, now servicing Seward and Milford, in addition to Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area. For any plumbing issues, call Select Plumbing at 402-452-5319. Now, I have been sitting around doing things, listening to everybody else talk. I haven't yet got my thoughts in on what might happen today in Memorial Stadium between the Nebraska Cornhuskers and the Northern Iowa Panthers, right?
Yep, that's right.
Panthers, and the purple and gold that they wear. But quick hitter with the Micah Mazuka news.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I should be concerned or not concerned. And then there's a third part of me that thinks I shouldn't be concerned unless something bad happens. And then it's like double concern because he's out, and also he's that good and his backup is not that good. Like, there's a lot of things going through my mind right now where it's like, oh, it's not a big deal because Nebraska's offensive line is good, but it's a big deal because he's not playing and he's really good. But it's an even bigger deal if he's not playing and things go horribly wrong at that right guard spot.
Well, I don't think they'll go horribly wrong. I think they've got a few options that they can roll to, including Henry Lutovsky. Tyler Knack is listed as the backup there on at right guard, but I'd almost be surprised not to see Lutovsky get in there just because he's got that experience. He kind of last couple of years has been switching in and out. I think you've got at least experience there. If they do go with Knack, that means they've got a lot of belief in him, at least to that Lutovsky level, right? So, I mean, I'm not too worried about it. You don't want, ultimately, you don't want it to be a long-term thing. You lost a tackle to start the season. You don't want to start losing some of these pieces. They're not too deep on the offensive line, but they have built up depth there. I think in previous seasons, you might be in a little bit more trouble, but I've been looking at Lutovsky on that bench all year long and thinking, you know what, they can afford another one.
Have you just been waiting? You're just like, get him in.
Waiting.
You're just like, get him in. Put him in the game.
No, I'd rather everybody stay healthy because Mazuka has been impressive. And he has brought in, kind of a mentality from Florida. Florida's tough. But
yeah, it's not great.
I think he's having more fun here. I think he's glad he came up from Gainesville. But yeah, I think this offensive line, especially against a smaller defensive front here, is going to roll. And maybe, you always kind of try to look at the glass half full. This will, if it's not Lutovsky, if it's Knack, whether, one or the other, you're kind of building more experience, building more depth in a game that, let's just be honest, on the schedule in totality, and not even, take out UTEP and, although this is the game where you would want to test some of your younger guys. So I think it could be somewhat of a blessing in disguise as long as it's not a long-term thing for Mazuka.
In this game, I am really wanting... Now, in this game, I'm thinking it's going to be more of a ground and pound, probably a faster game because both teams are probably going to run it a lot. But what I want to see is more Dylan Raiola airing it out.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because in the last game against Colorado, it was a lot of
passes behind the line of scrimmage. It was a lot of passes within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. And we've heard all season and we've seen the highlights and everything. And he has 2 6'4" receivers on the outside of the deep ball, right? And all of that and the explosiveness that this offense has. And maybe it was due to the way that Colorado was playing them, that they only had those short passes open. But that's something that even if we feel like we know that it's possible due to the first game and the 2 deep pass touchdowns that Nebraska had with Dylan to Banks and to Nayor, that's something that I feel like I need to see in this one to feel a little bit more confident going into the season. I know they can run the ball. They've shown they can run the ball against UTEP, against Colorado. And they'll probably show that they can run the ball against a more run-heavy, run-tested defense and offense of Northern Iowa. But I want to see them air it out. I want to see Dylan, flex his arm talent.
Well, and it's really a lot about the wide receivers too. Is you want to see them get open downfield. You're right. He's been very precise, but a lot of this is kind of dink and duff line of scrimmage stuff. Expecting or hoping somebody makes a big play, you get a lot of yak yardage out of it. But I do want to see a lot of that working downfield. And Chancellor Brewington, I think it was this seat, maybe the seat next to me. I always like to say in this very seat, but maybe it wasn't this seat.
That one exactly.
He did. He issued a challenge this week to the wide receivers because he didn't think, and it's been mentioned, they didn't block well on the perimeters. There wasn't a whole lot of guys. Outside of, wheel route, as far as just kind of getting open downfield, like you said, there's a lot of dink and dunk or big play jabs. And one of that is just Jalen Lloyd dropping one, right on his fingertips. So I think he's got the potential for a big game. I'm really excited to see what they do with Ja'Cory Barney. And let's get this tight ends involved specifically. One, Carter Nelson, I'd like to see. This is kind of one of those games, again, where you can kind of see, how close is he to helping out at this levels consistently? But really, Thomas Fedoni, he needs to get this season jump started because he's had a good, and he's developed as a blocker. But he has, if he wants to take that next step as a tight end, if he's ever going to live up to the promise that he had, obviously coming out of high school as one of the top ranked kids at tight end in the nation, he's going to have to put some numbers up. So, and we know he can do it. We've seen him do it in games past. We just want to kind of see, especially develop a repertoire with Dylan Raiola a little bit before Big Ten play. That's been your last non-con game. That'd make me feel a little bit more comfortable going into Illinois.
I am honestly surprised that we haven't seen more from Thomas Fedoni in terms of receptions, in terms of catching the ball, getting down the field, making plays, because of kind of the history that Marcus Satterfield has with tight ends and the fact that, the guy calling the plays is also the tight ends coach. You would think he'd want to get his guys more involved. Maybe that's a part of what they're doing, and they're saving something for Big Ten play, just like they were saving something for Colorado in the use of Ja'Cory Barney. That's another guy who I'm really excited to see in this one. If Nebraska's wide receivers have a big game, seeing Ja'Cory Barney get out and get loose. But yeah, you're right. If Fedoni wants to, prove that he is that number one tight end, or extremely high rated tight end from his recruiting class, even after all of those injuries, this is probably, you're running out of time. I know it's only 3 games in, but it's your senior year. You're running out of time to make these things happen.
He's a junior. He's a junior.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry. He's been here 4 years, but he's been.
That's right.
My bad. He's a junior, but even then, you want to get things going for him, and that's a guy who, if he can start getting involved, if Nebraska can start getting him the ball, would behoove them to include him in the offense to then open a lot more things up. But with that, we are going to go to a break and get ready for our final segment here on the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show, getting ready for Northern Iowa. This segment was brought to you by Select Plumbing, now servicing Seward and Milford, in addition to Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area. For any plumbing issue, call Select Plumbing, 402-542-5319. That's Bach. I'm Rico. When we come back, it might still be Bach and Rico. Austin might be on his way back after dropping our ticket mobile off, but we'll be right back on the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show.
Concerts keep rolling at Pinewood Bowl with a great show on Wednesday, September 18th. Bare Naked Ladies headlines with Toad the Wet Sprocket starting things off at 7 p.m. for a trip down 90s memory lane. Don't miss Bare Naked Ladies and Toad the Wet Sprocket on Wednesday, September 18th at Pinewood Bowl. Get tickets today at Ticketmaster.com.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Follow the Huskers to the City of Angels when Nebraska plays at USC in November. Book your official Nebraska alumni travel package at huskerfantravel.com. Choose from 2 or 3 night options that include a downtown LA hotel, exclusive welcome event, game day transportation, and the official Husker Huddle pregame party. Add on game tickets for an optional upgrade. Transportation to and from LA not included. Join the official Nebraska alumni trip to see the Huskers play at USC. Spots are limited, so book your trip now at huskerfantravel.com.
Riddle's Jewelry is excited to be celebrating 65 years. 65 years of so many incredible memories celebrating with each of your special moments. In celebration of the 65th Riddle's Jewelry anniversary, we will be offering up to 40% off all engagement rings and all diamond fashion jewelry. The excitement doesn't stop there. Riddle's Jewelry is also offering 18 months, 0% interest and $0 down financing on all qualifying purchases. Riddle's Jewelry has always been known for incredible customer service, one of the largest selections of engagement rings, and don't forget about the on-site jeweler. Come celebrate with us at Riddle's Jewelry, your one-stop diamond shop with exclusive Levian jewelry, Pandora Charm jewelry, and more. All at Riddle's inside Gateway Mall.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Mindel Footwear is your solution against sore feet, blisters, and poor footing. Don't just take our word for it. Take it from Sip, who said he's never had a pair of boots more comfortable. You won't find Mindel Footwear in any store sold exclusively at MindelUSA.com right out of Sidney, Nebraska. They're so confident you will enjoy the comfort their boots offer. If they don't work out for you, they'll cover the shipping to return them. Use code THETICKET for free shipping because your feet deserve a treat too. Mindel boots, just try them on.
As a proud member of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance, Coalition Restoration stands out by providing thorough property assessments, personalized customer service, and top-notch craftsmanship. With years of experience in the industry, Coalition Restoration has built a notable reputation for having a team filled with skilled professionals and possessing the expertise to handle any roofing project, big or small. Visit their website today for a free roof assessment at www.coalitionrestoration.com or give them a call at 402-607-8186.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman Postgame Show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran, for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman Postgame Show, sponsored by Anderson Ford, Tanner's Bar and Grill, Tavern 180, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Vinnie Kreekak of State Farm Insurance, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a champ, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. Touchdown! This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
The Kindler Hotel in downtown Lincoln is a boutique hotel experience unlike any other in the area. Their 45 well-appointed rooms take inspiration from the history of Lincoln. Their double queen rooms are great for guests traveling with family, and the suites are great for a business trip or romantic getaway. No trip to the Kindler is complete without a handcrafted cocktail from Boitano's Lounge on the main floor, with comfortable seating options both inside and on the outside patio. Book your room today at thekindlerhotel.com in Lincoln at 11th and P.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial to residential to agricultural storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com. General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
Back to the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mullen Motors.
Welcome back to the final segment of the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Coming to you live from 11th and O Street. 1040 O Street is our location. We'll be closing it down here shortly, but this segment is brought to you by Mullen Motors. Get to Husker Road games and youth sporting events safely this fall in a new ride from Mullen Motors, just north of 40th and Layton in Lincoln. I feel like everybody's already given their final score predictions and the likes. I haven't. So I want y'all to know that I am pretty confident in Nebraska winning this game. I don't know if anybody else is confident in Nebraska winning this game.
Seems like I don't think I've heard anybody pick Northern Iowa to cover.
Well, I'm the first. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I think Nebraska is going to run away with this one. I think, as you said, I think we're going to see some backups. I think we're going to see some other people getting in the game. Give me Nebraska 48-7. Bold predictions: 3 passing touchdowns.
Okay.
3 rushing touchdowns. 2 field goals. Both over 30 yards.
I think that might be your boldest take there at the end. That's what I'm worried about. And they're going to keep a close eye on, of course, special teams had a rough week last week. So should be able to clean it up. Last day to clean up a lot of things before conference play.
And if anybody's asking, I never said to be Alvano. You're just going to get 2 over 30 yards.
Oh, nice.
This final segment brought to you by Mullen Motors. Get to your Husker Road games and youth sporting events safely this fall. A new ride from Mullen Motors, just north of 40th and Layton in Lincoln. Go Big Red. Get this done.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread.